my message to you. Here's a little song I wrote. You might wanna sing it note for note. Don't worry, be happy. In every life we have some trouble. When you work you make it double. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Yeah. Singing don't worry, no, 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 yeah, about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Yeah. So rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. Three little birds pitch by my doorstep, singing sweet song, yeah, melody pure and true. Singing, this is my message to you.
You're listening to Breeze 93.9 FM.
I'm gone, I'm searching for you. Kipsy on the mic again. Singing the original song. Yeah. I'm gone. So let me tell you about this girl, yeah, she's so fine. And every single day she's running through my mind. And I just wanna call her mine, because your smile makes my day, and you take my pain away. Oh my darling, love me back, 'cause I'm gone. No more trying. I'm gone. I'm waiting for you, 'cause I'm gone. No more lying. I'm gone. I'm searching for you. Baby, won't you come over to my place? To my place. I wanna feel your embrace. Your embrace. So baby, tell me now. Tell me now. I wanna love you some way and somehow, because your smile makes my day, and you take my pain away. Oh my darling, love me back, 'cause I'm gone. No more trying. I'm gone. I'm waiting for you, 'cause I'm gone. No more lying. I'm gone. got you in my heart. In my heart. There won't be anything to tear us apart. Tear us apart. So baby, tell me now. Tell me now. I wanna love you some way or somehow. Because your smile, you makes my day. And you take my pain away. Oh my darling, love me back. 'Cause I'm gone, no more trying. I'm gone, I'm waiting for you. 'Cause I'm gone, no more lying. I'm gone, I'm searching for you. 'Cause I'm gone, no more trying. I'm gone, I'm waiting for you. 'Cause I'm gone, no more lying. I'm gone, I'm searching for you.
Playing all your go-to jams. Feel the breeze on 93.9 FM.
Never wanna stand up for myself. Never wanna get in the way I said it. Don't know what the plan is, but you can share it.
Denmark. Et zu ida saluda, antes diu hum niga. Radzaudzan malak estrezas, durante em todo a nogi distância, como kupugi palu, zangiman malak guafi, ikonum nasugi airi, prebatu la noci, nai banderata gaigi, pues atan fanny bandera, kau esta pagua pumalalapa, gilo tanu man libri, sentamiti man ko badi.
Fanogi-tamoru puritanota kantai matu nanyagi todu ilugat parai honra parai gloria abibais la sin parat parai honra parai gloria abibais la sin parat todo e tempo e paz para hita dan gini langit na bendition Conchai piligu na fan sofuham Zeus protehis languahon Conchai piligu na fan sofuham Zeus protehis languahon
You know the mood is reggae. You see, you're all a temptation, a positive statement on what is good. Don't like the groove too fast. See me like it nice and slow. With a skanky little bassline that'll make you move your waistline. So show me, oh, you know, na 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 rock steady. Said, won't you rock steady? Oh, come on, rock steady. Oh, love, rock steady. Oh, come on, na 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 rock steady. Said, won't you rock steady? Oh, please, oh, rock steady. Said, won't you rock steady? Oh, come on, no, 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 no.
Let's get on the dance floor, move your body left and right. Hold you so close and girl, I hold you so tight. Feeling on your curves and all over your waistline. So yeah, I'm feeling tonight. Girl, you know you got me in a trance. So hypnotized by the way you dance. Oh, you got me feeling like I had no chance to be your one and only romance. So for now, alright.
Steady. Said, won't you rock steady? Oh, come on, rock steady. Said, won't you rock steady? Come on, na 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 rock steady. Said, won't you rock steady? Oh, love, rock steady. Said, won't you rock steady? Come on, na 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 na. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Tonight, skin tight dressing, I wanna get inside. Meet me on the dance floor, we can start it right. Loving off a day with the rock steady vibes. Hey girl, how you doing tonight? Skin tight dressing, I wanna get inside. Meet me on the dance floor, we can start it right. Loving off a day with the rock steady vibes.
Morning, Sabrina.
Good morning.
Morning, Jason.
Good morning. Good morning, sky. Good morning, clouds.
Good morning. It's very surreal out there.
Good morning,
Surreal.
contrast.
Very surreal when I walked out and I was like, look at the dark gray and you had the blue and there was the early morning sunlight, which was giving everything that like filter.
Good morning and welcome back, Mr. Sun, and goodbye, Joss Rain. You've basically shown us how wonderful you are for the last month and everything, but we're good.
Right on.
Historic rainfall, as NWS told us yesterday.
Many inches. Many inches
Many
rain
inches.
down. Right. That's right.
I think we're good on rain for the next.
There's
like,
a plethora
2
of inches of rainfall.
Yeah.
6:21. Hey, it's Tuesday, guys. October 26th. Wow. Holy what? October.
And right off the bat, a birthday request for Troy Lee Flores Blas, who turns 6 today, from Michael Duenas.
Oh, nice. Hey, good morning, Facebook Live. Good morning, The Breeze. Thank you to our radio listeners out there in Radio Land. Thanks for jamming with us here on the link. It's proudly brought to you by Pacific Points, Calvo Enterprises, ITN, and Jack in the Box. Good morning. Morning, Facebook Live here. Chamarita Rages, good morning. Who else we got here? Mama Bear, Debbie Davis, good morning. F. Glenn Lujan of the Off a Days Up podcast.
Half a day, everybody.
Rosemary Laguatnia, good morning.
Are you guys getting ready for work or already at work?
I'm already at work.
Well, yeah. I kind of picked him.
Yeah.
Speaking of someone who's at work and looking fantastic.
Wow.
Joseph, can we zoom in on Bree's hat since her head's down? Look at that.
Dude.
Bree, where did you get that? That is
I got it at one of the mom and pop stores.
that is the Blessed Virgin Mary.
Yep.
Very, very nice. Is
That's
that,
the true crowns right there.
Is that like metal that it's made of, or plastic, or?
I think it's plastic.
That's really nice.
Dude.
It's one of those things, right? When you're just going to the mom and pop store and you see it and you're like,
Oh my God. Oh, the light shone down on it, right? That's right.
Did you have it blessed first, or?
I know a priest, Bree. We could get one on here. Do a virtual blessing,
That'd be nice.
right?
Yeah.
Viva Santa Maria Carmelita.
Viva!
Right on.
It doesn't really look appropriate with my headphones, but
It is what it is,
yeah,
man.
and that's all I have. So
And then is that a gold mask you're wearing, or is that what, chin up first? Is that gold, orange? What
Chin up,
color
Bree.
is that?
Chin up.
I think it's
It's Thanksgiving.
neutral.
Yeah, it's beige orange.
Yeah.
Beige orange. Oh, it's nice. It's very fall color.
You know who would know? Because I mean, we've had this youth movement in our newsroom. We've hired like several young reporters who are all fantastic. They collectively, I think Tyler, Hannah, Isaiah, and Daniel know more about like fashion and makeup than any of us will like ever know. I mean, they know about color palettes and about combinations and about what goes with what you don't wear after a certain day, and like what is the whole thing about Labor Day, Chris? You're not supposed to wear white, or you're supposed to?
You're
wear
not supposed to wear white after Labor Day?
I never knew, but you're only supposed to wear white if you go to like Puffy's party or something.
No idea, bro.
I was never invited to one of those.
Okay. At 6:25, yeah, Halloween's coming up. It's all virtual, right? There's like a couple haunted houses that we're gonna try and get you more info on.
You know what? Let's do a link virtual Halloween party on Friday
Okay.
for our link fan. Let's do something. So you guys come in costume. We'll exchange virtual candy. You can exchange emoji candy, I guess. Okay. Guys, hands up if you are all about Team Candy Corn.
Yep. You're the only one.
Oh, hey, more candy corn for me. Let me have your candy corn. I have never hated on candy corn. I love candy corn.
Good for you.
I don't know what people have against it.
It's too sweet.
Oh, as opposed to
It's just too sweet. Some
sweet
candy is-
tarts or
yeah,
it's
but
pure
I mean,
sugar. It's always everything else.
Sweet tarts are a little sour. Candy corn is just straight up, no frills, 1,000 grams of sugar, just boom right off the bat.
Where do you stand on black licorice?
Do you just like all the bad candy or what?
No, because I was like,
Jason's that kid. You give all the stuff you don't want to, right? Hey, you got my candy corn.
hey, I like candy corn. I like, around Christmas time. Have you ever received like a fruitcake?
Yeah.
I got a fruitcake once, and I was like, I want to see what the hype is about. I was like, dude, this is all right. This is good.
It's not so bad. We had a fruitcake the other year where they like cut it thin and toasted it. That was really good. Hey, it's 6:26.
Toasted. Nice.
Zarcachero, good morning. Elizabeth Agagi from Eva Beach. She likes candy corn. Michael Duenas, birthday shout out to our sister Pauline D. Titano, turns 53 years old today. What else we got here?
So Michael's got 2 birthdays in his family.
Right. May Jolene
Congratulations.
Pseudo Babauta, Buenas and Offade from Puyallup, Washington. Birthday shout out to my sister-in-law, Lori Jean Babauta.
Oh, in Puyallup, Washington.
Yeah, is that how you say it?
Yeah, very, very nice.
Nice.
Cold out there.
That's right. You used to live around that area, right?
No, I was more west than this. I was in like Seattle.
Oh, okay. But it's the same state?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Good morning, guys. It's 6:27. Let's just sing happy birthday for everyone who's got a birthday before we get into the show, and we'll tell you about all the awesome people that are coming on today.
Okay, so for Pauline D. Titano and also young Troy Flores Blas, who turned 6 today, and Pauline is 53.
And also Lori Jean Babauta.
Very nice.
And everyone else whose birthday it is today, too.
Wait, let's go do this church. Let's do this church style. Since Bree is wearing a hat featuring a likeness of our Blessed Mother, I was like,
Yeah.
all right, everybody, we're gonna sing Happy Birthday, page 53. Happy birthday, page 53.
That's right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lori.
Pauline and Troy.
Pauline and Troy and Lori Jean and everyone else whose birthday it is today.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
May the dear Lord bless you. May the dear Lord bless you. May the dear Lord bless Pauline and Troy.
Pauline and Lori Jean Babauta and everyone else whose birthday it is today too.
Happy birthday to you. Yes.
Yeah. They should get us down to the legislature to do the hymns, right? Like a guest appearance. What happened yesterday? Was that yesterday we were watching session? It was like
no,
one
that
of
was Friday. I think
Friday,
it was,
yeah. It was like there was only Senator Frank Blas Jr. was singing, right?
And then Clint sang.
Yeah, Senator Clinton
Wait,
usually.
what were they singing? They were singing.
They have to sing the Guam hymn and the national anthem.
Oh.
Right.
But remember, like I guess you can call it like old school legislature now, when it was like Mark Charfus, B.J. Cruz, Dr. Judy Wanpat, Angel Santos, who else was there? Ben Pangilinan, Elizabeth Barrett Anderson, Mark Forbes. I mean, this is maybe like 20.
Senator
25
Casper Bauer.
Yeah, Larry Casper. Whenever they sang like the Chamorro thing, like everybody really got into it.
Right on. Hey, our show is brought to you by Pacific Point, Scavo Enterprises, ITNE, and Jack in the Box. Also, we had a birthday shout out. Shantae commented, happy 15th birthday to my daughter, Cecilia. Well, happy birthday. And good morning, Chris Cave and Chamarita Regis. It is 6:29. Let's go ahead and get into our first look at the news here on the link on this Tuesday, October 26th, the year of the COVID 2021, with the very latest from the KUAM News team. Good morning, Sabrina Salas Matanani.
Half a day, everybody. The Joint Information Center reports 50 people are hospitalized for COVID. Additionally, there is one pediatric admission. 11 patients are receiving ICU level of care, while 9 are on a ventilator. The JIC also reports that out of the 50 hospitalized patients, 16 are vaccinated, 30 unvaccinated, 1 ineligible to receive a shot. Public Health reports 128 new COVID-19 cases. This includes tests from over the weekend and from private clinics. To date, there have been a total of 17,671 officially reported cases, 227 deaths, 2,071 people are in isolation, and 15,373 have recovered. The CAR score, 17.6. To date, a total of 123,017, that is 90.2% of Guam's eligible population is fully vaccinated. As for booster shots or additional doses of vaccines, the following have been administered: 7,982 doses of Pfizer and 299 doses of Moderna. The Guam Department of Education reports Monday evening 12 more students tested positive for COVID. The cases were identified at 3 from League One Elementary, 1 from Machinao Elementary School, 2 from Maritzo Martyrs Memorial Elementary School, 1 from FB Leon Guerrero Middle School, 2 from Untalon Middle School, 1 from JFK, 1 from the JP Torres Success Academy, and 1 from Southern High. GDOE also reported that 1 employee at Machinao Elementary School has contracted the virus. Parents, teachers, and supporters of education have come together united for education and have penned a letter to Superintendent of Education John Fernandez titled Forceful COVID-19 Vaccination, Weekly Testing, and Discrimination. The letter states, quote, "We are a group of education stakeholders, teachers, students, support staff, parents, guardians, collectively against the forced experimental vaccination and unnecessary weekly invasive testing imposed upon us. This directive will have great repercussions in our education system, which is already suffering from lack of certified teachers and or support staff. Our focus in education should remain on student learner outcomes and preparing our students for success. The reasons for declining to abide by vaccination or testing orders is not public health or the district's business at all and is a fundamental civil right. However, many choose to disclose the reasons they are declining, which include valid medical and sincerely held beliefs as the reasons, yet we continue to be discriminated against and threatened with disciplinary action, unpaid leave, and or termination from employment as the only alternative to the orders of getting vaccinated or weekly testing. These are not fair and equitable solutions proposed, and our students, parents, and employees deserve much better. Weekly indicator testing is not an indicator of our job performance, but rather a condition of employment, and thus becomes an ultimatum. In that sense, it creates an unhealthy workplace environment. On Monday, GDOE began testing all of their staff who have not complied with the governor's executive order that they be vaccinated or submit to weekly COVID-19 tests. If they do not comply with the governor's order, they could face disciplinary action.
Millions of children in the U.S. could be eligible for Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine as soon as next week. An FDA panel meets tomorrow to consider recommending emergency use authorization for children's 5 to 11, followed by a CDC vote next week. Bradley Blackburn has more.
Children ages 5 to 11 could start getting vaccinated against COVID-19 as soon as early November. An FDA advisory committee is meeting Tuesday to consider recommending emergency use authorization of the low-dose Pfizer vaccine.
The data look good as to the efficacy and the safety.
A review by the agency found Pfizer's pediatric vaccine is nearly 91% effective at preventing symptomatic COVID, with the benefits outweighing the risks of the most serious side effects. That includes myocarditis, a rare heart condition that's been linked to the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines in young men. The inflammation usually subsides on its own in a matter of days. The Biden administration has purchased enough vaccine for the country's 28 million children in that age bracket.
Vaccinating children will be really important for us to be able to return to normal life as we know it.
If the FDA formally signs off on the 2-dose vaccine, kids ages 5 to 11 will be able to get shots at pediatricians' offices and even schools. Mom Kaylee Becker wants her 9-year-old son vaccinated.
We're looking forward to the day that he is, so we can have a matching set of protected kids.
It could also be a game changer for holiday gatherings.
Families that seek their first shot by mid-November, that those children will be considered fully vaccinated by the winter holidays at the end of December.
Moderna says its half-dose vaccine showed a strong immune response in children ages 6 to 11. The company plans to submit data to regulators soon. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
The third batch of advanced child tax credit payments was processed on October 15th. Reventax says it sent the details on more than 18,500 payments, totaling more than $14.3 million to the Department of Administration. To date, DRT has processed $31.3 million in advanced CTC program payments. Additionally, DRT has processed another batch of tax refunds totaling $3.1 million. These include refunds garnished to repay government debts. These represent the payment of 964 error-free returns filed on or before September 9th. Public Health and GDOL will be hosting a job fair this Saturday, the 30th, from 9 a.m. to 4 o'clock in the afternoon at the American Job Center in Antigua. Public Health is recruiting approximately 70 individuals to fill positions for its COVID-19 response efforts. These positions will assist the department in community outreach, processing of laboratory specimens, case investigation, health disparities, administrative duties, nursing, and other functions. Public Health is in the process of establishing a portal within its website for accessibility to provide more information about the job fair and job openings. Once the portal is established, it will be announced to the public. In the meantime, potential applicants can begin preparing for the job fair by preparing an application packet, which should include official proof of identity, work eligibility, a resume, and a high school diploma, GED, college degree, or transcripts from a recognized accredited institution. KUAM did ask GDOL Director Dave Della Sola to come on our show any day and any time this week, but he said he can't make it. And with more news, here is Daniel Perez.
This news update is brought to you by Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Half a day, everyone. I'm Daniel Perez with your headlines here on The Link. There's been a resolution of sorts to the dispute over whether to publicly review a major mistake in the local war claims law. That all started when a failed amendment to the bill was somehow inserted that removes any filing of deadlines and opens up claims to potentially thousands of new claimants instead of the 700 or so qualified late filers in the federal program it was intended to help. Nestor Leconso has more.
The impasse between a group of Republicans and the rest of the body is now over.
Emine 36 na legislature Guahan is back in session.
It began when a group of 5 GOP senators walked out of session Friday after they were denied their wish to publicly discuss a costly error to the local war claims bill. The lack of a quorum forced a postponement, which continued this morning until about 2 hours into their scheduled start. An apparent compromise was reached in which the original bill would be reintroduced without Speaker Therese Terlahi's amendment that made the major change.
Bill number 217-36 LS is identical to Bill 130 as introduced. I would ask that the public hearing be waived as it is identical, and a public hearing for Bill 130 LS as introduced was had on July 16, 2021.
She also moved to clear out the second reading file of all other bills so that they could prioritize the war claims legislation.
On the motion to pass all bills except for Bill 217 in the second reading to pass on file, are there any objections? Hearing no objections, motion passes.
Session is now scheduled for Monday, November 1st at 1 p.m. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Since its inception on September 23rd, the infusion center has seen a high number of patients coming through for treatment. That's according to Dr. Lois Cruz, who gave KOAM the numbers of treated individuals. Here's more. The Monoclonal Antibody Treatment Center has been open for a month now, and Dr. Lois Cruz of the Guam Guard was able to provide an update as to how many have been treated so far.
Island-wide, with both hospitals, GRMC, GMH, and the Infusion Mangilaw Center, we've treated over 750 patients island-wide. At the Mangilaw Center alone, we've treated close to 400 patients already. This monoclonal antibody treatment, it's doing what it needs to do in preventing hospitalizations, helping patients feel better faster, and preventing deaths.
So far, only one patient has had an adverse reaction to the MAB treatment.
We did have one very elderly patient come and get the treatment, but I think he needed oxygen, and it was a judgment call where he could or could not have gotten the treatment, where he may have needed to be given treatment at the emergency room or at the hospital. For the most part, there hasn't been any side effects, there hasn't been any issues with the monoclonal antibody treatments, and we continue to make those follow-up calls. And patients are continuing to report that the next day they can feel the effect of the treatment, where they're getting better, they feel like they're not getting worse, their cough or their symptoms have improved.
Dr. Cruz continues to urge local residents to get vaccinated and reiterates that the MAB treatment is not a replacement for the vaccine.
Yes, this is a great addition, the monoclonal antibodies, that will even protect you even further. But when you already have that high level of protection from the vaccine, then you can even get the monoclonals to help you feel better faster, and also to prevent you from being hospitalized.
As for the opening of a possible second infusion center in the South, it seems unlikely.
Now our demand for the monoclonals also has dropped a little bit. We are seeing about 10 to 15 a day, where we were seeing close to 20, 25 or more a day. So there's no plans right now to open up a site down south because the demand is not there.
There are currently 865 courses of the MAB treatment in stock as of this morning, and the FEMA contracted nurses aiding with the infusion center has been extended until mid-November. Daniel. And Village Booster campaigns continues around the island, and yesterday in Dedido, island residents came out to receive a free booster shot. KOAM's Hannah Devonzo has this report.
The COVID-19 booster shot for the Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, and Pfizer shot was offered at the Dedido Senior Center for those 65 years and above. Although 65 years and above is first priority, other age groups who meet the criteria are now encouraged to come out.
For the Moderna and the Pfizer booster, the eligibility criteria obviously is 65 and older, but for 18 to 64, it's those with underlying medical conditions. So just as an example, diabetes, heart condition, hypertension. If you're a smoker or former smoker, you qualify. Other eligibility criteria include for those who are exposed to COVID-19 because of their job or work, so grocery store, gas station attendants, those in healthcare, frontline workers, of course, those are some of the eligibility criteria. And then for Johnson, and of course it would have to be 6 months or more since you received your second dose. And then for Johnson & Johnson, the eligibility criteria is it's been 2 months or more since you received your dose, and you're the age of 18 and older. That's the only eligibility criteria. Also, they do allow for mixing and matching of doses.
Several island residents like Luz Abilio and Andy Ross Tan have eagerly waited to receive their booster shot.
I decided to come and get the booster shot of Moderna because I want to complete the requirement of having the COVID-19 vaccination, and so I'll be fully protected also.
At my age, I need an extra protection, so that's why I need to have my third booster shot.
The next booster clinic will be held on Wednesday in Asan Mayina at the mayor's office from 8:30 to 1:30. Now, if you're eligible and interested, you can go to tinyurl.com/COVID-stops-with-me to make your appointment today. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Hannah Devonzo.
Samantha Brennan has been tapped to serve as Guam Homeland Security Advisor, and her appointment is effective today. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero stating, as a longtime public safety officer with over 2 decades of experience, we know she has the intuition and integrity necessary to ensure the security of our island and our people. She is community-centered and laser-focused. She also served at the Judiciary of Guam for 25 years and retired as a supervisor of the Adult Probation Office. It was in 2019 when she was appointed director of the Department of Corrections and had resigned in November that same year due to controversial anonymous letters written by DOC staff criticizing her leadership. That's it for now. We'll see you tonight for KOAM News Primetime.
This news update is brought to you by Pacific Points. Do more, get more. Do more, get more.
And now it's that time of the show where Uncle Ken comes in and he has your daily updates in Chamorro, courtesy of First Hawaiian Bank.
Buenas tardes, tiget sunto gifunut sa morgan ni KUAM News. Presenta ni Familian Mizo gi First Hawaiian Bank. Inapunta si Samantha Brennan sa magahaga Lou Leon Guerrero para guide Guam Homeland Security Advisor. Inuebo na si Sonia sa tutuong gui pagunadia. Ilang na si Leon Guerrero na seda mamtipon niya si Brennan na opisyal seguridad para publiko sa mas que 20 años eksperyensya niya. Lengan na tatunga na mista na tautaw, jagagi minalig gizagwiza, nita nisisita pa seguridad dyan prinitahin ni Islata, dyan tautaw ta. Asesa na tani minalig komunidad, dyan tomtom. Si Brennan sa SEDB Judiciary of Guam para 25 años, dyan retiraw na igwiza supervisor para adult probation na opisina. I 2019 nasakan, anay mapunta para Director del Department of Corrections si Brennan. Resign gwi November gwiya nasakan, entiya na maresibi karta gin ni empleo ni DOC siya ni senfot na disganao pa di tayo mano hayo iluya dyan na departamento. Masa sunto, Cannabis Control Board sa siya mapatutuitin ni Laika siya gazi Recreational Cannabis Rules and Regulations ni rekomenda ni Hinirada Abagadong Guahan. Uno gwi ni Sempre Sisu sigo ni CCB na chairperson si Vanessa Williams sa Zilingwahi ni Nimbadgay Minanagwi. Si Williams ni Abagaw Lokwi, hasangan na rekomenda ni Rada Abagadong Guahan na matugi no i-board ay reglamento siya para mas makomprendi ni manbe-business. Humano tatigi opisina ni Rada Abagaw para merebisita tado peso manawag atigi legislatura para maapreba. Ini na sabin cannabis para adult siya sa manatlay giabri gidos mid-19 nasakan. At na lay sa konsyenti manggaidad para fan mananom size na tungkol marijuana dogi binanding cannabis na banda sa probido hasta kimanafanazan sa maapreba rules and regulations. Yuto mo na sunto para pagwa na matis ni KUAM News kifinut sa Moro iminatest na grupon apa si Advanced Child Tax Credit sa ma-process gidyakin sige Oktubri. Ilingay Revenue and Tax na mananaw gi Department of Administration esta no este siya na apas para 18 mid kinentos na tautawgi na tutat 14.3 milyon pesos. Kung tufong distitutuhon ni Department of Revenue and Taxation, sesta ma-process ng 1.3 milyon pesos na salapi para Advanced Child Tax Credit. Para Guam News Network, Guasikin Conception. Yasuto ifinut sa Moro sa presenta sa ninafato ni Familian Mizo gi First Hawaiian Bank.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, where you get smart insights into your finances so you can make smart decisions with your money. With a daily personalized feed, you can compare your monthly income to spending. That's better. Discover where your money is actually going. You might be surprised. See what's essential and what isn't. The more you use the app, the smarter it gets. With insights from the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, it all starts with yes.
All right. Refresh Guam, you know what it is. You know the deal. It's the island's newest digital hub. You know where they are on Instagram and Facebook, and you know what to do. Give them a follow because you know what you get. Daily content and daily awesome giveaways.
Refresh Guam.
Do
Truly
you
local.
feel like you're missing out on something? Make life more rewarding with Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points for bill rebates and free load at IT&E, discounts on fuel at Shell, vouchers at Foodies, and United Mileage Plus miles. You can even pay with Pacific Points at IT&E, Shell, and Foodies. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore. Stop on by and visit our showroom today. We offer everyday low prices on all major outdoor power equipment like bush cutters, chainsaw, power washer, generators, and more. Need service, repair, maintenance? Well, check out Guam's best superstore only at Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape, located in Barragata along Army Drive between Submarina and Besta Market. Call 735-7446 for more information. Now shipping to surrounding islands. Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore.
The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage. With generations of Filipinos calling Guam home, KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city, featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by KFC.
KUAM Communications continues our perpetuation of our Chamorro culture, language, and heritage with features available to our listening and viewing audience, including streaming of Chamorro music 24 hours per day on Isla Digital Radio on KUAM.com and the KUAM News app. Chamorro News Update, weekdays on The Link and the KUAM News YouTube channel. Conversations about life in our Chamorro language podcast, Cuentos Tapoco, with Kin Conception. Seasonal specials, shows, and other features highlighting the beauty of our language, culture, and history. It's a new era of our continued commitment to our Chamorro heritage. Isla, watch, listen, stream. Viva Isla!
This season, KUAM Communications is ready to go with more games, more championships, and more sports specials guaranteed to bring out the fan in you. Don't miss a minute of gameplay from NBC on KUAM TV8 or from CBS on KUAM TV11. We're bringing you all the action and excitement brought to you locally by Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape and Docomo Pacific. Catch Sports Link on the KUAM News Morning Show, The Link, every Friday for the latest sports news, game schedules, athlete profiles, and more. Sports Link airs every Friday across the multi-platforms of KUAM. Tune in to the broadcast on Breeze 93.9 FM on KUAM TV 11, live stream through the KUAM News Facebook page, or view highlights on YouTube, KUAM News Facebook, and Instagram page. Sports Link is brought to you by Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape.
This holiday season, we're once again bringing together the island's largest array of local vendors for a special innovative way for you to shop, broadcast, and go digital with Team KUAM. Join us on Sunday, November 28th for the annual Christmas Pops Virtual Holiday Market at 12 noon on KUAM TV8 and the KUAM News Facebook page, plus additional show times through December 11th. We'll also be featuring vendors daily with posts with QR codes and links on our social media pages beginning Monday, November 29th, and hosting an exclusive Christmas Pops website for your one-stop shopping. It's a safe and convenient way for you to shop local this holiday season. To reserve your spot, email promotions@kuam.com today. Virtual space is limited.
The KUAM Podcast Network is back and on demand, featuring a great variety of podcasts from our island and region, including culture, lifestyle, awareness, crime, politics, commentary, comedy, and entertainment. Available on most streaming platforms. The KUAM Podcast Network. Subscribe and listen now. The Totomotna Tales. October on the KUAM Podcast Network.
Breast cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death in women. The chances that a woman will die of breast cancer is about 1 in 38. Although there is no sure way to prevent breast cancer, there are certain things that you can do, such as eat healthier and exercise. For more information about breast cancer, go to the American Cancer Society's website at cancer.org. Also, on October 22nd, we invite you to think pink by wearing the color pink on that day in solidarity of our breast cancer survivors and warriors.
This pink message is brought to you in partnership with Ordot Dental Clinic, joining the fight against cancer in honor of brave warriors, survivors, and their families. Island Cancer Center and American Cancer Society.
Link each morning on Breeze 93.9 FM.
Tristidu zan putih coração zahagu emas todo o tempo Sedidu acceptai dispensation sahagu emas de coração na izuneni
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Thanks so much for watching The Link. Jason, Joe, Sir, Chris, and Bree here with you, giving you all the information you need. And of course, we want to let you know where you can get tested for COVID-19 today. If you or your family, your coworkers, your church mates, your classmates, anybody wants to know your status, testing is free today at the Old Carnival Grounds in Tiedzin, of course. Starts in about just a little over an hour at 8 a.m. and goes until 12. The rapid antigen testing is available on a first-come, first-served basis, so please go to Tiedzin and check them out. On Friday, only Friday this week, from 9 to 12, it's going to be down in Inalahan. So if you need to be tested and you want to be tested for free, once again, by Public Health, it's at the Community Testing Center at Tiedzin today. You could also go to your private clinic if you wish. There you go.
Thank you, Jay. Did you cover that there's also, I believe there's a vaccination drive at the district court this week?
I didn't get that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, so let me just get that out here. Coming from our friend Stacy. Good morning, by the way. It's 6:56, Tuesday, October 26th. Halloween's on a Sunday this year, guys. So, yeah, there's a free COVID-19 vaccination clinic this Thursday, 9 to 12. At the district court. To be doing Pfizer, Moderna, and J&J, and we'll get you all the details on that. Probably tomorrow. Okay, so that's Thursday at the district court. It's 6:57. We'll take a quick break. Senator Jim Moylan. We're also getting Dr. Hoa Nguyen this morning, Minority Leader Senator Chris Duenas. And looking to hear from these teachers here. United for Education is, well, this is a pretty interesting case. There's a group of education stakeholders who have written a letter to Superintendent John Fernandez, as well as a few of the deputy superintendents, the senators of the 36th Guam legislature, and to the Guam Federation of Teachers. The subject, forceful COVID-19 vaccination, weekly testing, and discrimination. Okay? And so we'll talk about that coming up this morning on The Link. Again, it's 6:57. Good morning.
KUAM's multi-platform.
The Totomotna Tales. October on the KUAM Podcast Network.
know you're tired of hearing about COVID-19. Some of you are probably wondering whether this is ever going to end. However long it takes, we all have to do our part, including our children, to hold the line. You can protect yourself and your family by getting vaccinated.
And if you're already vaccinated, don't let your guard down because you can still give and get COVID-19. And if you're not vaccinated, remember that if you catch the virus, you could suffer more severe complications. At the end of the day, it's the choices we make to protect ourselves, our families, and our community that will control the spread.
We know it sounds repetitive at this point, but again, wash your hands, watch your distance, and wear your mask.
Together, we have to hold the line.
The Culture Club returns to KOAM Digital and KOAM News Weekend Edition, highlighting Guam's young artists, activists, and crafters as they work to protect, preserve, and promote our Chamorro culture. Watch this weekly feature on the digital platforms of KOAM News Weekend Edition, brought to you by Hanum.
KUAM's multi-platform morning show, The Link, just got a little more delicious with Feed Me Fridays. Chris, Sabrina, Jason, and the rest of the morning crew will take some time off each Friday to talk, taste, and tempt you with all the latest and greatest food and drinks on Guam. Old faves, new hits, and everything else we can put in our bellies. It's Feed Me Fridays on The Link, brought to you by King's Restaurants, Ruby Tuesday Guam, and Devondale.
KUAM News, in partnership with the Guam Visitors Bureau, brings you the Guam Safe and WTTC Safe Travel Certified Program Showcase. Look out for this powerful symbol for visitors, island residents, and industry workers alike, as it represents establishments with a consistent global commitment to safety practices. Stamped with approval by the Guam Visitors Bureau and the World Travel Tourism Council. Every Monday on KUAM News will feature a different local business who's taken the Safe Guam and Safe Travels pledge to maintain health and safety standards to get Guam back on track. Log on to visitguam.com to see how your business can receive the designation, what businesses in our community are Guam Safe certified, and have the WTTC Safe Travel certified.
The Link, each morning on Breeze 93.9 FM.
Hey,
good morning.
Chris. Good morning. It's Chris and Sabrina from The Link.
Hey, good morning.
How of a day.
So we understand you've been having some issues with the online. Is it the online license renewal?
It's called the ID, My ID Guam, something like that.
So what are the issues that you're having?
Well, the issue is they allow you to sign up, and once you get signed up, it then directs you to a blank page. There's nothing there to see.
How many times did you try using it?
Well, I've tried like maybe 20 times at most. I've been trying every single day, and it's the same thing. There's nothing for you to see there.
Have you tried calling Reventex or reporting it?
Nobody answers the phone there. Everybody knows that.
Oh, no. Hold on a second. No, wait just a second. Because they have a call center that they stood up.
Just for that site, you mean?
Well, just to receive calls. Because everyone complains they don't answer the phone. So you're saying you've called and they're not answering the phone?
Yeah, they probably. No, I haven't tried as many times as I tried to log in online. So maybe a few times, and I forget to call back again. Go back online, try it again, but nothing happens. So maybe I haven't tried enough times trying to call them.
Well, it's not really on you, sir. I mean, in a perfect world, we shouldn't have to call a government agency 85 times, just hoping they're going to pick up the phone.
So yeah.
And there's nothing that on DRT's website, or you haven't heard anything like, oh, we're experiencing issues or anything?
No, not at all. I mean, the only update I've seen so far was what they posted on PDN, I believe, PDN website, as far as them stating that the site is now up and running. And I believe now it's about 12 days ago since they posted that up.
Have you heard about other people having these similar issues?
Yeah, we're on this online chat, on WhatsApp chat, and everybody's been trying. Same results. Nobody's getting in.
What do you make of this, though? Because it seems like we come out with these big announcements and pronouncements when the reality is...
It's disappointing because when I first found out, it was me and my daughter, because she's trying to get her learner's permit. And speaking of learner's permit, you got to go through some ridiculous stages just to acquire your permit. But we'll get back to that, I guess. But when I found out about that, it was great because I was happy about it because the lines over at DMV is just ridiculous. You know, and to be able to renew your driver's license online, that'd be a savior for. I mean, it's helpful. It's convenient.
Yeah. Well, if it was working, it would be very helpful and very convenient.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, if you do get through, please let us know.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, we'll do our part too. We're trying to get the leadership of Reverend Tax, and we'll ask them the questions.
Okay, that'd be great.
Well, thank you, sir, for sharing your concern.
All right. Well, thank you.
Join KUAM every Wednesday on Primetime for Inside Business. It's our new weekly segment featuring the struggle of Guam's businesses during this global pandemic. We'll hear from industry leaders about the difficult decisions they were forced to make to implement cutoffs, layoffs, and shorten hours just to survive. It's the other side effect of COVID, the island's economic crisis. We'll also feature new businesses that managed to open and thrive during these challenging times. It's Inside Business every Wednesday on KUAM News Primetime.
Uno Mixed. We're mixing it up on the last Thursday of every month with a look at lifestyle, entertainment, food, and so much more on the stations, networks, and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Uno Mixed is presented to you by Docomo Pacific, Better Together, and Pepsi.
Is 93.9 FM.
When you see a window to fight for peace and unity, do you ignore it? Or do you explore it and spread one love all around the globe? Hey, it's hard to bear it. Bear the fact that everyone knows the truth about our leaders who bribe and lie to regroup more troops. So who is the boss man of the system? Who's the boss of this system that puts guns in the hands of men who fight to be free?
Hey, welcome back to the link. Yeah, if you got issues, it doesn't just have to be with Reverend Tax, 637-0094. Give us a call. We'll put you right on the link.
Sorry, real quick correction.
Yeah.
671-637-0094.
That's right, yeah.
Did you
671.
guys adjust all your contacts in your contact list and everything? It took me about 3 minutes to do it. Most of mine, I was surprised to find out they already had it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, most of mine.
You get a little message, though, if you don't press it. Or if you
Yeah.
don't, right?
They'll basically say the call can't go through.
This is what you're gonna get. Call it.
Yeah, call it, Jay.
Which one?
I don't know.
Call my number.
Call your mom.
Actually, I had to remind my mom yesterday. I was like, hey, have you changed your thing? She's like, no. I was like, have you changed at least
I didn't
mine?
tell my mom. Just kidding.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna call Bree's phone number. Hang on a sec.
Wow.
Okay, if you guys didn't, man, I didn't
You
realize.
got your sound on so low. What are you
Yeah,
listening to?
My volume was like super low.
No.
So basically, it says as of October, as of Sunday, what was that, October 24th, 2021, 671 is now required for all local
Yeah.
call numbers.
Yeah,
So,
I was
mean,
trying to call my party in Inaran, and I kept forgetting the 671. But then 2 Inaran's long distance, so I had to do 1 671.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like imagine like restaurants, stores,
Yeah.
government agencies. Unfortunately, I mean, you know, the
Yeah, but if you're a bill collector or a collection agency, you don't have to dial 671. Just keep dialing the old number the same way. You'll be fine. 7:07. Good morning. Lots going on. Let's head into the KUAM News Zoom room and get Senator Jim Moylan up on here with the link. Good morning, Senator.
Morning, Bree, Chris, Jason. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Thanks for joining us. Wow. So, was there something that happened with the bill of yours?
With the what? I'm sorry?
There was a bill of yours that something had happened. I think it was a bill with you and the Vice Speaker, Tina Munya Barnes. There was something about the war claims, and there was an amendment that had been erroneously inserted into the bill that went over to... Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I heard a little bit about it, sure. I think it was late at night, and I kind of stayed up trying to figuring out what happened.
So I guess just your reaction, as you are a co-author of the measure in question.
Yes. So, well, yesterday the Speaker introduced 217, and how we're moving forward with correcting this is 217 is identical to the original bill that was submitted on 130 that had a public hearing. So when you introduce the same bill in session, we can bypass the public hearing for this bill because we already had it. So the 217 is just like the brand new, without anything in it, without any amendments put in there. So we're going to go back Monday and start discussing this bill once again. So a few things can happen. We'll have to, if they want to do the amendments like they did before, it would start all over again.
Yeah.
Then we had to take the votes, and then we had to engross the bill, and we see how it goes from there. But an amendment would also have to be included to rescind the public law that we're trying to correct the error now. So it took some time and discussion just to get that far. And Monday, we'll be back in session to figure this out. But it's open for discussion once again. We'll see what amendments, who votes this time to do what, things could have changed. If all your, I like to refer to this session as the schoolroom and with my classmates. If all my classmates aren't there, my colleagues, the voting dynamics may be different.
Yeah.
The time has changed also since the public law has come into play, and opinions may differ. So I'm not sure how the votes would be. But definitely we're going to address the issue that needs some clarification. And I'm wondering how that would look. But at the end, still, but this bill hopefully 217 will get passed and up to the governor for signature. But what it still does is that it's requiring the governor within 30 days to come up with an implementation plan. From there, it comes back to the legislature, and we have 30 days to review it. We got to get back into session, and we could either say we like it, like adopt it, or amend it, or reject it, and come up with our own plan. So it's still not over yet. The next step, of course, is discussing 217 on Monday.
I wanted to ask, what are your comments and your reaction to your Republican colleagues who walked out, because I noticed you didn't join them?
Right. Yeah. Well, as a sponsor on the bill, I wanted to hear the information I think was important to figure out what was the situation, and I needed to stay. You know, my colleagues, my fellow Republicans, decided it wasn't right that this information was being shared just amongst the senators with the cameras and the recording off. I was able to ask questions to legal. We had clarifications from clerk, and I think it was also put out the sequential order of when this amendment started and the time frame and how it went about and when the error was discovered and why it happened. The ramifications of that, well, we had to deal with it as a senator. How do I correct it, right? Whether we're going to point fingers or figure out what we're going to do with the staffing, I leave that up to the management, and I can understand the mistakes have happened, and as well as myself. for not really identifying and going over it correctly. So I learned my lesson there as well as a co-sponsor on the bill. So I'm to blame also, and I understand that. But still, now my colleagues have come back to the table after further discussion with the speaker and the majority who's in charge of the session there, and have agreed to come back Monday to discuss 217. And we'll see if we come back to the table, if we're going to go have the clerks and maybe the attorney, the legal counsel be present. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing that on Monday or not, but it would take a vote at that time, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
If the votes aren't there, then we're just moving forward. If the votes are there, maybe we'll have another meeting with them and possibly be open. But at this point, I'm not sure.
So did you agree with your Republican colleagues that this whole discussion that happened behind the closed doors should have been open to the public?
No, I stayed in, right? And I didn't walk out. I can see my colleagues' point of view, and I appreciate it. But I also agree with a legal, if they're going to represent the body as a whole, then they need to have some confidentiality with their clients. I submitted a letter saying I waive my client privilege rights. I'm willing to do that. I can keep it in open. But, they represent the entire body, just not myself. So it would have taken everybody to do the same. And
Would it have? I think you can tell us as just a sitting senator, you can just say, hey, yeah, I waived the privilege. Here's what was said. I don't think there's anything stopping you.
Yeah, it was all out in the air. I'm listening to all the different radio programs. KUM, of course, most important. Thank you. and everything that's being shared is what was shared inside. There's nothing. There's nothing left out, especially that sequential order that was provided. That information is pretty detailed, and we can see where we need to make some changes, especially just taking our time really to correct it. So I didn't see any difference than what was already released out in the public and what I'm reading in the media and hearing in the media as well. So that information is open as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you for that. That's good to know. So yeah, the speaker had on Friday, I believe, released a timeline of the chain of events that led to this error, and that was released on Friday, right?
Was it Friday?
Yeah, I think she said yesterday that they released it on Friday, Senator?
Yes. The last time we were sitting down all together there, or the time before, yes, it was Friday.
Right, and so you're basically our inside man, and we had the speaker on yesterday, and she said, this is what happened, these are the facts, and you're kind of agreeing with that and validating that, yeah, that's what was said behind closed doors. Got it, thank you.
Right. And what they want to do, that's up to them. That's up to their leadership. It's like a management of an office, right? If the employee somehow needed corrective action, let the manager figure out what corrective action is going to be taken, not necessarily 15 senators to figure this out, And in the meantime, I think the public is really concerned. So what are you going to do about it, Senator? So what's going to happen? And that's why the Bill 217 was introduced, and we get back there Monday. And we'll see what amendments are added to this. The major important one to correct it will be the amendment to rescind the current law, and then we'll move it forward.
Why 5 days though?
That was a decision as the group, right? That was a compromise. But when you go into session floor, my feeling is you follow Mason's rules of order, right? And if the senators want to call it an emergency meeting or address the bill right then today, to put it on the agenda, so be it, right? We already had the public hearing, especially for this one, but we're kind of following what a recent bill that became law, saying the public still needs to have notice, 5-day notice, so they're aware, and if they want to tune in or if they want to call their senator because the bill is on the floor and being discussed, they have that opportunity to to review it. We're kind of using what all the other boards and commissions have to do as well. It's different though when you're in session hall. You can have an emergency session and you're not going to wait 5 days. You can have a special session, you're not going to wait 5 days, right? There's some timelines. I think we got a couple of days that we had to follow to post it. But this can all be done based on what our rules are during session and following Mason's rules there. But again, it goes back to the majority of the body, and the decision was made, so that's why we're coming back on Monday.
Let me ask you this: so, if Speaker Terlahi reintroduced the amendment in question, the amendment, the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The amendment. If
Line
it was
3, page 4.
Yeah. I mean, if that amendment was reintroduced, now that you guys have had a couple days to kind of stick your finger in the air and see what the people are saying about it, right? Do you think that it would fare differently, or do you think that it would still be ruled, what was it, materially different?
Right. I'm sure we'll still have the objection, and then it will be up to the chairman. If we'll probably be at committee as a whole. And that call will be up to the chairman, or somebody on the floor can also say objection to it. And if it's deemed materially different because it wasn't part of in the public hearing as well, if the votes are there to not make it go through, then that's what's going to happen. If the votes are there to make it go through, it could also happen as well. The person making the amendment could ask for reconsideration or to overrule the chairman, the committee chair. And again, the votes are needed. And that's why it's important every time you sit in session during the month, who's present, who's not present, right? How do the votes count? Just like in a classroom at school, right? And who's in your class today? So it's going to come down to that. And on the floor, if somebody could always change their vote because they got some new insight. I'm sticking with what the original bill was about. And if the changes need to be made, I'm not saying it's not important and it can't be done, but I think that needs a separate bill altogether, and we address it at public hearing too. I want to just stick with the original as it was introduced in 1:30 and move it forward. But we'll see what happens on session day, and especially I hope we start on time.
Okay.
What was going on yesterday? There was a long recess, right? And Bree and I were watching, and it was like, man, I think it was just you and Senator Mary in the session hall for, God, it was like a couple hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was quite long. I had to recharge my phone. That's when I knew
That's
it's
how
long.
long it was, huh?
Yeah. Like, God, phone's dying. So that's where, the discussion has to come in to try to we need a quorum. So talk was going back and forth, and the majority with the minority, and trying to work out a compromise so that we can get a quorum. And it took some time, and then the bill was introduced, so that was being written up as well. And who was going to introduce it, that was questionable on which senator would introduce the bill, until finally it was the speaker that did introduce the bill, and it was acceptable to the minority. So we came out from behind closed doors, and we had enough for a quorum once again, and that's when we finally the speaker was able to hit the gavel and start session, and quickly there recess until Monday. That was the agreement that was made in order for us to get a quorum.
Is there anything else that needs to be added into Bill 217 other than the amendment to rescind the law with the legislative mistake?
Right. There was another amendment also included in the current public law, where a committee was formed to review these claims that are going to come in. Yeah. So if that's going to happen once again, it would need to be another amendment made to 217 and we'll see if the votes are included, if that's going to be added into the bill. There was a couple of, I think, a date correction too, and some technical things that legal identified that could be adjusted there too, as well. So there were two major amendments, the one that was the flaw, and then the other one adding in a committee to review the possible claims that will be coming in.
Do you foresee it taking a long time? Like a lot of debate on this?
Yeah. Sometimes with dealing with my bills, it's like, this shouldn't be too controversial. But you don't know until you get on session floor how everybody is and who's in your class that day and who has something to just talk about that day. So that's the dynamics of our session with the different senators representing their ideas on the floor and trying to get their point across. Some say it faster, some say it slower, and some just keep on saying it. So it makes interesting conversation for each bill. So I'm hoping it won't take long. We understand our situation. Do we need to give all this discussion about it? I wouldn't. I would just move forward and make those amendments that, if necessary. And if there's a vote in, let's do it. And if not, let's move on. We maybe want to make sure if we need to, let's say, not just everybody raise their hand, but to say I want a roll call to ensure that we got the correct vote from that senator, just in case it moves so fast, right? Sometimes we raise our hand and it's dropped before the clerk kind of sees it, or the speaker sees it, or we need somebody to call it again, right? Or you can just do a roll call so it's clear. Say your yay or say your nay. So we shall see. We shall see.
I noticed that you put your support behind Bill 214, the bill that Senator Amanda Shelton is the main sponsor of, regarding the $25 million matching fund for the governor's LEAP program. But I also noticed that there were some other Republicans who introduced another form of that bill, but it's 37, I believe, million. Do you also support that bill, or are you going to keep your support with 214?
Well, yeah. So the let me see, the employee compensation, basically, right, for these businesses got together and talked about the need to help the small businesses with additional funds, right? So the governor came on out and said, well, I can help with dedicating 25 million. And the idea was that the senators supported as well. And so we said, sure, another 25 million. But then it comes out to 50, right? But the original request was much higher. And I think the separate bill that was introduced, I believe, by Senator Frank Blas, it kind of compensates for that. So the bills need to make it to session floor, and you need to have the public hearing. And the quicker we do that, the better. You know, the majority is in control, and if you put it into committee, it's up to the majority, right? Or how the bill is written as well. So right now, of course, I'm supporting. I was a co-sponsor with Senator Shelton on her bill, which I think will be very helpful. If that passes, let's get it to the floor. Likewise, if there's more money to come and made available with Senator Frank Blas's bill, I can't see why not supporting that too, to help our small businesses, because after all, we need them to hire, and that creates the taxes from corporate business and the BBT and the employee tax, and that's what's going to make us survive. And giving people jobs now is instead of since PUA is done. So I got to see how this plays out. Which bill is going to get a first public hearing? Which bill is going to get to session floor first? And which can we take a decision on? So you just never know. You just never know.
What did you see that interview that Nestor did with Lester? It was Nestor with Lester. Lester Carlson, and it was he was asking the timeless question. Where's the plan? Yeah, and Lester got all bent out of shape, and he was like, well, didn't she help the poor people? What's your problem? Why you guys want to know everything? Oh, God. And he basically said that when they spend the money, that's the plan. But he's pretty defensive about it. What did you make of that interview and that response?
Yeah, I've had a couple of rounds with Lester also, and that's where if you call out Lester, he's there to make you stand down, right? But I'm not going to let up. We, the people of Guam, the legislature who represents the people of Guam, want that plan. You know, and if it's a tentative plan, then show us your tentative plan. And if you're not, for whatever reason, I don't get it, right? The legislature gave you our plan, Governor, and you said, hey, this looks great. It's kind of in line with what I'm thinking about. So, you know, thank you. All right, so where's your plan? So we can work together. I'm not going to give it to you. You know, and I'm going to say it in many words as possible. I'm going to blame it on the department, the Treasury Department, because they're still reviewing it, and I don't want to dedicate anything. I'm going to blame it on, we're still developing things, and as things come around, we're adding to our plan. We want to make sure our plan is perfect before we release it to you. Well, it's not going to be perfect unless the legislature has the opportunity to at least review it. If you want the legislature's support, then you need us to help us understand. So we either can back you, or we can say, you know, as the people's voice, I think you should adjust A, B, or C. But if we can't see that, well, that's an attitude problem. And I think that needs an attitude check, you know. You want to kind of hardball the co-equal branch of government, right? And try to talk down to us and try to say, hey, this is my pot of money and I don't care what you have to say. I totally disagree. And I think I'm going to fight back even harder. And I'll enjoy it. I'll do it with a smile and nothing personal. But we can fight just as hard back, because we deserve that information if we're going to share with the people of Guam. And I think what the media is doing and pushing for that as well, it's very helpful. We're not going to let up. And until that happens, it's not good. It's not good for attitude. It's not good for this administration. And if you want to get reelected, you better have some transparency. And that's what's going to help. If your plan's not perfect, that's fine. I think everybody could understand that. And if you want to improve it, you got to talk to us about it. But if you don't, and you want to say, okay, I'm finally releasing my perfect plan, I don't think so, right? And I've seen the mistakes already happen with this administration, and it continues to happen. I'm just waiting for the next blunder once again, you know. But we don't want that to happen. We want the best for the administration, and in order to get that, you need the legislature's support for the administration, and we can't do that without sharing of information. And that's why we really need this plan. I'm not saying that the projection of their plan or what they have done so far is not good, but if we want the vision of the island of where we're going to be and how we're going to improve this as we get through the pandemic, then share with us close to $600 million what you plan to do. All right, so we can share with you how we can work together. And it's not going to be because I called the governor and say, hey, Gov, you know, when's you going to release your plan? You know, and she's going to tell me the same thing she's telling everybody else. Or she'll send Lester Carlson after me again, which I don't mind. I have a beer with that guy every now and then, and he's good to talk with. But that's not what I would do. And it's unfortunate we're in this situation, and I wish we weren't. And I'm still going to be asking, Governor, give us your plan. Tentative is better than waiting till it's too late. And here's the plan, because I already spent all the money. Here's where it was spent.
But,
gee, thanks a lot.
But it doesn't seem like, you know, you guys are going to get one anytime soon. So in the alternative, has anybody asked, so what have you spent the money on? Because we were going through the numbers, and it looks like she spent and obligated up to $427.7 million. I mean, when you take out the 300 for the hospital, right? The 20 million for GVB, 25 for LEAP, 27.3 for GITA, 30 for All Rise, 15 for GPA, 674 for the homeless shelter, 50,000 for bereavement, isolation facility, 678,000, and quarantine 11 million, which leaves about 172.2.
And that's including the was it 300 mil for the hospital?
Yeah, for the hospital, yes.
Okay. Yeah, Senator. So, I mean, according to Mama Bree, there's a lot of money been obligated or spent already. And so you guys passed the budget law, and then so they're supposed to start reporting what they spend in November. Is that correct?
Yep. I haven't seen it, really. And so what can you do? You know, we're not going to hold the governor in contempt for not following the law, right? She's the leader of this group, supposed to do what the People's House said you're supposed to do. But if they don't, there's nothing you can really do with the power of the governor. But we can still raise our voice. And there's still more money out there. And what I'm doing is introducing other measures too. You know, the governor has this money, and she could subsidize different areas where the shortfalls are within the government to keep these critical services going. That's fine. We also have the Consolidated Revenue and Expenditure Report released that's showing at the end of September, we have $62 million above our projected amount that we're ending the fiscal year with, right? And from that, some of our senators during the public hearing on the budget bill included that 20 million goes for tax refunds.
Right.
There was another one for the 25 million going for the employee, the small businesses, right, that one. So there's still 17 million there, and I just introduced 218, Bill 218. We have a problem with the Guam Customs has a big problem trying to take care of this drug epidemic on the island. We recently passed Bill 58, it became public law, to extend this property and PD given by the Port Authority to Customs so they can build their sterilization container warehouse that would address the problems of invasive species, cargo coming in, illegal cargo coming in, and most importantly, to house a scanning machine where these trailers all can go through and we can scan for these drug issues, right? We know it's coming in. We're just not seeing it all because we just don't have the equipment or the facility to do this. So we got a bad problem with that. And we're supporting the Customs to say, okay, you got this property extended, that's great. Now you got to build the facility and you're short cash, right? And the governor even agreed to get this building going when she passed the law to extend the property requirements before, so they can build it another 5 more years. So the governor supports it. Now we're addressing the money needs, and I'm asking in the bill $15 million in order for them to get the architect and engineering design done and start the progress, right? And we're giving them to 2023 on the bill to say you better get something going. Here's the funds, and if you don't, that funds is going to go back to the general fund for other necessities. And the Customs are saying we're behind you on this, and we want it to get going. So while the governor is not telling us how she's going to spend these ARP funds, right, and spending it on her own free will, like you're going into Ross and you don't have it in shopping list, and before you know it, you leave with a whole cart full of stuff you didn't necessarily need. I'm still trying to identify where other funds are available before the governor does the same thing on that and takes away the opportunity for senators to address what they think is a critical needs based on what we're seeing and hearing from the people of Guam. If we don't fix this drug epidemic, no matter how good, if we get through this COVID situation, we're just going to have some sick people here, and we don't have enough facilities to really help them. So let's stop it at the border. Let's protect the border, and let's get the Customs what they need. And it's funny. The governor can do this today if she wanted by transfer authority, but as long as I make some noise here, she may do that just on her own, or she may do it because somebody told her, did you hear Senator Moylan's Bill 218, and this is what he wants to do. Oh, okay, let's just do this on our own. I don't care, right? Just do something. And at least we're pointing this out. The people of Guam are pointing it out. That the newspaper is just flooded with all these issues about drug problems, people beating up all their families. It's so much stress. And the price of this, the drug, right, meth, is so cheap on Guam because the abundancy is there. I wouldn't say cheap, but the price compared to other places you got a bargain here because we have so much on our streets, and that should not be. And one of the biggest places coming in is the Port Authority, and I'm hoping I can push 218 through while the governor figures out what the heck she wants to do with the ARP money. But at least we can have a voice on the CRER cash that the BBMR, my good friend Lester, is saying, hey, that money's available. We don't have to wait for the audit. I'm pretty secure on this close to $63 million. And let's get going to help the island of Guam. So that's the best I can do. If the governor doesn't want to release her plan, I'm going to introduce measures to say here's where we should spend the money, and I hope my colleagues will back me up on that.
All right, so you're going to power check Lester over the plan. Got it. Run it, top story.
Yeah,
I got your back, don't worry.
He's a big guy, you know. He's a big guy.
But is he big for nothing or just big?
Well, he's interesting. He's an interesting character.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do an arm wrestle. That would be interesting too, right?
Right, yeah.
For a beer.
Right.
Right on. Okay, Senator. Well, thanks for coming on. Good talk here.
You're welcome. I appreciate it. Happy Halloween.
Right on. Yep. There you go.
Stay safe.
Happy Halloween. Looks like we're getting more tricks than treats. Let's take a quick break, and we're coming back with our COVID consultant, Dr. Hoa Wen, next, right here on The Link. Good morning.
Uno Mixed. We're mixing it up on the last Thursday of every month with a look at lifestyle, entertainment, food, and so much more on the stations, networks, and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Uno Mixed is presented to you by Docomo Pacific, Better Together, and Pepsi.
Breast cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death in women. The chances that a woman will die of breast cancer is about 1 in 38. Although there is no sure way to prevent breast cancer, there are certain things that you can do, such as eat healthier and exercise. For more information about breast cancer, go to the American Cancer Society's website at cancer.org. Also, on October 22nd, we invite you to think pink by wearing the color pink on that day in solidarity of our breast cancer survivors and warriors.
This pink message is brought to you in partnership with Ordot Dental Clinic, joining the fight against cancer in honor of brave warriors, survivors, and their families. Island Cancer Center and American Cancer Society.
We know you're tired of hearing about COVID-19. Some of you are probably wondering whether this is ever going to end. However long it takes, we all have to do our part, including our children, to hold the line. You can protect yourself and your family by getting vaccinated.
And if you're already vaccinated, don't let your guard down because you can still give and get COVID-19. And if you're not vaccinated, remember that if you catch the virus, you could suffer more severe complications. At the end of the day, it's the choices we make to protect ourselves, our families, and our community that will control the spread.
We know it sounds repetitive at this point, but again, wash your hands, watch your distance, and wear your mask.
Together, we have to hold the line.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Got a question about your finances? You've come to the right place. Bring all your accounts together, even those that aren't with us, and see the big picture, right down to the smallest detail. Unlock powerful tools like Insights and Money Map that help you save time and take control of your finances. When you connect accounts with the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, it all starts with yes.
The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage. With generations of Filipinos calling Guam home, KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city, featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by KFC. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
On Breeze 93.9 FM.
love the way you walk and power. Come around, baby, and we can shine. And in due time, you can be
Good morning. Welcome back to the link. It is 7:44. We're going to head straight into the Zoom room to talk with our good friend, Mr. Dr. Howowin. Mr. Dr. Howowin. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone.
Doc, so I guess we just want to kind of start with the booster shots, right? Are you guys getting a lot of calls at the clinic level?
Yes, we have a lot of call, and we started to give out the booster for Pfizer about 2-3 weeks ago, and now that Moderna and J&J are on board, we're gonna have a lot more requests. We're gonna start with some outreach clinic, especially for the staff of the school. So right now we work with the private school to have an outreach for all their staff probably in the next week to 10 days or so. And then if anyone that would like for us to kind of provide the booster shot for their staff, they just ask, give us a call. And if it's a big number, we're just going to put an outreach for your company. But it's important, I think that as we know that the vaccine are kind of weighing off on the about 4.5 to 5 months or so. So I think it's very, very important now for us to go through this pandemic that we need to get our people to come out and have the booster. Again, Moderna and Pfizer is 6 months and over, and then J&J. It's very important for people to have J&J to come out and get the vaccine, the second shot, if it's over 2 months already, which we have a lot of people over 2 months. So you can come out and get another second shot of J&J, or you can cross over to mRNA. So FDA kind of approved for you to mix if you wish. So if you want to do that, we can mix.
What are you hearing though from people, like when they want to mix? Which combination, which cocktail, if you will, would you recommend? Let's say in here, like I'm Team Moderna.
I'm Moderna.
Jason's Moderna. Bree?
I'm Moderna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's not really a lot of firms out there for mixed vaccine from one to the other, but the few that come out there show that the response is a lot better if you mix. Moderna seems to be a lot more resistant to any breakthrough than the Pfizer does. But again, it's because we have a bigger Pfizer population in Guam. But I think that there's nothing wrong with you mix over to another mRNA vaccine. There's nothing wrong with that. So if you want to stay the same, or you can mix. But the most important thing is get your booster. If you have 6 months or over, or if you have a lot of comorbidity and high risk, your physician can give you before the 6 month mark.
Doc, what about boosters for pregnant women?
Pregnant women, we really fully support the booster for pregnant women. We push, and I know that Dr. Shea and a lot of our physicians are pushing for the immunization for pregnant women on the second or third trimester. First trimester, we were thought, I know that it's approved out there, but we were thought that in the first trimester, a lot of things can happen. So, we can delay the booster or the shot, until the second or third trimester. But if people insist to have the first, just need to know the risks, and then you can do that. But, we kind of first trimester pregnancy kind of sacred for us.
Yeah, it was interesting because I was watching YouTube last night, and this video advertisement came on from the governor's office, and they had one was a mother with a newborn, but she was talking about how she had got the vaccine, but it was after she had given birth. So I thought that was interesting.
the pregnancy is considered high risk. Just like during pregnancy, we really push for the influenza vaccine on the second and third trimester. So during pregnancy, again, we were pushing to get it during the second and third trimester. And a lot of studies show that even after you give birth, if you have the immunization, that there's antibody in the breast milk to protect the baby. So again, it's very important to have pregnant patients talk to their physician and get the vaccine as soon as you get to the second trimester. I know the few physicians will give the first, but at the AMC, we pushing for the second trimester and the third.
Yeah, it's really interesting to me that Dr. Shea had come out with a video basically encouraging pregnant women to get the vaccine, when I know a couple months ago there was a WhatsApp message circulating from him that talked about connection with getting the vaccine and miscarriages. So was it just, did he do some more research or something, and is that what led to the kind of the 180, do you know?
No. He's always, his point is that, there's a higher risk of miscarriage in the first trimester if you have vaccination in the first trimester. But he always supports, vaccination in the second and third trimester. He just have quite a bit of case at the first trimester that there's a miscarriage. So he recently documented really well on the website for CDC. From the beginning, he's always supported on the second and third. He just see a lot of negative incidents on the first trimester. So that's from the beginning. So, but no, he's pushing for the vaccine from the beginning, guys. So again, it's very important to protect the pregnant patient and the fetus. So and the second and third is always safe to have.
The approval of the younger kids to get vaccinated, it looks like it's coming rather quickly, maybe even by within this week, right? So what advice do you have for parents of these 5 to 11-year-old as they kind of contemplate whether or not they should have their child vaccinated?
I tell you, for the children from 5 to 11, we really need to push for that, because children from that age can be an asymptomatic carrier, and some studies show that they are the one that carry the virus to the family. The good part about it is that the children that age, they don't get that sick, right? I mean, we talk about the MIS that we have, the syndrome we have for children of those age, but those are still rare. But most of them are fine. But the problem is that they can be the carrier to the family and to the elderly. So it's important for kids to get vaccinated once it's coming out. It's very good. Pfizer expect to be in the next 10 days or 2 weeks or so to be approved, and so is Moderna. I would say that parents, just get ready. For AMC, we will try to put out some outreach clinic there to try to get the 5 to 11 to be vaccinated as much as possible, because again, that is to protect them in school, right? Kids are in school face to face now, so it's very important that they go to school safe if they get immunized, and they can play sport and all that kind of stuff. So I encourage the parents to be ready once that they roll out the vaccine for 5 to 11 to get your children out there and get them vaccinated.
Do you have any information like the side effects that they could experience?
The one that people talk the most is the myocarditis, is inflammation in the heart in the young, especially in the male side, more than female. But again, everything you do have a risk and benefit. The benefit for have the vaccine protect the children is really, really outweighed the risk. And myocarditis is very, very small percentage. It's not anything that alarms the CDC or the FDA to not approve it. So the safety profile for the vaccine are very, very high. But again, it's about 91% protective for the children at that age. So, we have the holiday coming up, and there's a lot of family get together, and we really have to make sure that our family, including the children from 5 to 11, to be vaccinated. So that way, the entire family are much safer. Again, vaccination doesn't mean that you will not get the virus. Okay, we gotta still push that message out for people to know. They still get the virus, but the severity of the illness and the chance of the hospitalization and deaths is much decreased. So that's the really reason why we have this thing. So get vaccinated to protect your family and try to not to lose anyone.
Doc, how crucial is this booster effort? Because we're continuing to see the triple-digit cases. We're still seeing the deaths, but with the booster, from some of the data I'm reading, it drives your efficacy and your protection against the virus somewhere upwards of like 90%, right? So
Yes.
it's November now. Do you anticipate that if we have an aggressive booster shot effort, and also when the kid shots are ready, an aggressive effort in rolling that out, is there a chance that we could have a Thanksgiving or a Christmas?
I think right now Thanksgiving in November, right? So I think past Thanksgiving, that's what we're looking for. If we have a very aggressive booster campaign out there and people go out there and get vaccinated, I think we can shoot for Christmas, New Year, and hopefully much better where we are right now. And that's what we're hoping. Again, besides immunization, people need to kind of social distance and again pay attention to their symptoms. If they're sick, go get tested. That's very important. Testing play a very big role to control pandemic. So if you have symptoms, go get tested. That way you can protect your family and not pass your family, your colleague. So there's a multi-pronged approach here. Immunization is one. But again, recognize the symptom, go get tested, so that way you can isolate yourself away from your family. That's one of the most important thing that we can do at this point is really recognize the symptom and go get tested.
Doc, we had a comment here. What's the dosage? Is it based on the child's weight? Is it the same dosage for everybody? It's like a little baby half dose or something, right?
No, the dose for the children are much, much less. I think that half or a third of a dose of the vaccine. So the children, I hope the needle is smaller too. So, but it's going to be less than the dose we have right now. Even like the Moderna, the boosters is rather 100 micrograms, 50, so half the dose of Moderna. So for children, it'll be less.
So, Doc, if we come in to get our booster Moderna, what'd you say? It's 50, right? 50.
Yeah, it's 50 micrograms. It's not 100. 50, it's half the dose.
Can you slide us like maybe 75, just because we're cool?
You'll be fine.
Yeah, Doc. I did have a comment here, a question. Can you ask Doc? You've heard from a number of jurors, and I actually have an uncle who's on jury duty right now. They're summoned to court to be part of a 4-week trial or any trial that lasts weeks. 7 to 8 hours a day, lots of older people, some unvaccinated. Is that safe for anybody? Can that many people be kept in a room for that long and then going home to their families each day and returning to spend the day enclosed in court as a group? Is that recommended? What are your thoughts, Doc?
I think that even in the enclosed environment, I know the juries can be a long, long day for everyone. I never been there, but I heard a bad story about it. But, if they have social distance, they wear their masks in the room, that should be safe. And that's the part is that, they got to sit down, to see at least 3 to 6 feet apart and make sure they use their mask. And they do that, they are safe. Again, I don't know the situation in the jury room, but those social distance and masks should be mandatory.
Doc, are you hearing anything about the CDC visit?
I understand that it's going to get either they here already yesterday, so they're going to have a lot of investigation, right? The main thing is they're going to be here is look at the DOA. And we really need to look at that because we cannot afford to lose people without knowing why and without knowing how to improve. So So I think that's a challenge. They should look to see why we have so much DOA, and also I know they listen to this. They're going to be asking is that why we have such a high positivity rate with our high vaccination number, right? So that's something that I'm really everyone would to hear from CDC just to find out what's going on. It's just that if something that we can improve for our pandemic to go forward, we really need to know. And again, we really appreciate for them to be here. It's never hurt to ask somebody, and never hurt to see we can improve ourselves, because this is the health of Guam.
Doc, if someone got their second Pfizer shot less than 6 months ago, can the individual get a booster of a different type of vax?
It really depends on the physician. Sabrina, I mean, if they come in, let's say they have multiple risk factors, especially if they have cancer and chemotherapy, no, they don't have to wait 6 months. They come in, let the physician know they immune compromised. We give to them, as long as 28 days after the second dose, we can give if we feel like they very much at the high risk. So if they're Pfizer and they come in, with those conditions, and if they want Pfizer for the booster, we give. If they want a possible Moderna, we give. Really, it's the call of the patient.
Right on.
I forgot.
But get out there and get the booster. We really need to have the holiday coming up when we need to protect everyone, protect yourself, your family, people around you, so we can go shopping and
Are you sure, Doc? Because we heard this before with the vaccination. But so this is it. We get the booster, new normal.
Yeah, we hope. I mean, that's the best way we can do, right? I mean, we know the vaccine are waning off, so it's a time to recharge the immunity. Again. We will watch and see if it's truly this recharge immunity will get us somewhat decrease and curb this positivity that we currently have right now. We still see in the clinic a lot of positive, but it's not as bad as about 4 weeks ago. So the number should go down. It's just that I wish it go down a lot faster than it is right now.
What do you make of the numbers? Are we doing pretty good with people getting their booster shot? So we have 123,017 fully vaccinated. Then you have maybe about 8,000 or so that have gotten the booster. Is that a pretty good number? Are we doing all right, or do we need to make a big?
I think we can go a lot faster. I think people. I think the people need to come in, and I think that public health and the clinic and the guarded one that do the outreach should kind of relax the rule a little bit. Like I say, I mean, I still hear a story that people come in a week to 10 days earlier than 6 months and was turned away, and that's I would give to them. I mean, the chance they're there already, you turn them away, they might not come back for another few months.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't follow the rules so strict. I would give to them.
Yeah, Doc. I mean, their own data says it's 4.5 months after receiving the vax that we've seen the positives, right? So yeah, that's interesting. Doc, thank you.
I mean, it's not this. You don't have to wait for 6 months. They walk in. I would give to them. I mean, now a week, 10 days earlier than 6 months, it doesn't mean much. Just they're willing to protect themselves, and that's what we're pushing for. I just give to them. I mean, relax the rule. That's the rules make, but you need to bend some.
All right.
Thank you, Doc.
Thanks, Doc.
Okay, give me the list. I get you guys.
We got it. Remember, give me that 75 micrograms.
I want the small needle.
He wants the Lancet.
Okay.
Thanks, Doc.
You're welcome.
All right. Good morning. It's 8:01. Hi. This is the link. Are you guys ready? Are we going on the TV of KUAM today? Yes, we are. Okay, let's jump on over there right about now. Good morning. Good morning, Guam, and good morning, KUAM TV. Good morning, Sabrina.
Good morning.
Morning, Jason.
Good morning.
Good morning, morning, morning. Morning, KUAM TV, Facebook Live, our listeners on the breeze. Thanks for joining us here on The Link. Brought to you by Pacific Points, Cabo Enterprises, IT&E, and Jack in the Box. And yes, it is a Tuesday. You know what that means. It's not Monday. And also, it's time for Tuesday Treats on The Link with our good friends, our best friends, our BFFs. This is a partnership I could see going a lifetime. 3 Squares Marketplace. Okay, Tuesdays on The Link. Guys, Joe, sir, can we get the... Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yep, 3 Squares Marketplace for the win this morning. And we have got some good stuff here, Jay.
Yeah, so we are having breakfast in the morning, and there is nothing wrong with that. We are starting our day. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and we're starting with chocolate mud pies.
Oh, my God.
There's everything the growing boy needs.
That's it. It's all in there, guys.
Yeah.
It's like Bill Cosby used to say, chocolate cake for breakfast.
Exactly. There's eggs, there's dairy, there's wheat.
There's eggs in it, guys.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, it's...
And we've also got a lot of protein, too, because we've got this amazing arroz caldo.
Yeah, and this is crazy. They gave us the big bowl of arroz caldo. So it's today for Tuesday Treats on The Link. We are sampling arroz caldo and chocolate mud pie as you get the treat cam there. For a quick breakfast or office meetings on a rainy afternoon, call 3 Squares for local soups and individual, family, or party sizes. Yes, and for the sweet tooths, visit 3 Squares Marketplace for chocolate mud pie cups with layers of chocolate pudding, whipped cream, and chocolate.
Wait, can you say that part slowly?
Yeah, you want it slow, Jay? I get you. And for the sweet tooths out there,
Oh, yes.
visit 3 Squares Marketplace for chocolate
Yes.
mud pie cups with layers of chocolate pudding just laid on you all over. Whipped cream, you into that? I am. We have it. And chocolate cake.
It's like, remember the old cartoons, like when the anvil would fall on Wile E. Coyote's head and he'd have the Tweety birds flying around? I've got like chocolate mud pies like flying around my head right now.
I mean, I have to do this. It's for my job. So we have the chocolate mud
You know,
pie
I've only
cup.
fallen in love 3 times in my life. I
Right.
think this was the 3rd.
Yes.
Just looking at that is like, okay, an artist obviously put this together.
Give me that.
This is not. This is not just okay. Let's scoop a bunch of ingredients. Blah blah blah. You know, the layers on that, the expertise with which it was constructed. I mean, this is some pro stuff, right?
Yeah, it is definitely, and I love that you can.
That's a great
see,
parfait.
You can see in the cup, right? And it's chocolate mud pie. It's something easy. It's a little bit of sugar rush to get you going in the morning. But maybe you have a solid tooth, right? Some of us have a sweet tooth. Some of us have a solid tooth. Some of us have both. And if you got the solid tooth, check out the arroz caldo. Joe, can we go in on that arroz caldo right there?
Okay, now I know what some of you are probably thinking, right? They're like, "Gosh, Link, why eating chocolate mud pies in the morning? You're not supposed to eat dessert. Have you seen the coffee you drink on a daily basis?"
Right.
Nothing wrong with chocolate mud pie in the morning. I am all about this.
Yeah,
I
let me
am
sample
in.
that. Joe, can you pass me one of those chocolate mud pies?
There you go, bro.
Now that Dr. Ho is, Doc's my doctor. And, is there a utensil here? Or? Sorry. Sorry, guys. This is official business. Thank you, 3 Squares Marketplace. And grab some stuff, guys. They're open already. You stop by. They got a whole little display right inside. They're open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday inside 3 Squares Restaurant in Tamuni. Call 646-2652 and order ahead. Just going to have a bite of this, guys. Because I know everybody knows I'm on a diet.
You were on a diet.
But like I said, this is just for my job.
Hold it up. Okay, so how deep in the layers did you go? Because that was a pretty generous. Okay, yeah, let's go see the. Okay, you actually went like 3 layers deep. You not only you broke through the first, let's call it like the first salvo of whipped cream. You made it through the volley of chocolate pudding. And then the secondary line of defense, which was, the chocolate chips and the second layer of whipped cream. And you made it all the way to the cake.
I made it to the caramel, Jay. Okay, I've had a lot of chocolate mud pie.
You broke through.
Dude.
Break on through to the other side, Chris.
That is good. Need a little Aris Kodu to wash that down, Joe, sir. No, I'm good.
No, and if my math is correct, we have covered at least 4 of the.
Oh, man, this Aris Kodu right there.
Yeah, just swirl that around for me,
Ooh, sir.
Healthy pieces of chicken. That's gonna get you good. You're gonna make it and be very productive at work today. That's big
All right.
pieces of chicken.
Okay, just get me a straw. You got the boba straw? Thank you, 3 Squares Marketplace again. Guys, it's Tuesday Treats on the link with our friends over at 3 Squares Marketplace. All right.
Can you describe in one word how that chocolate mud pie was?
Heavenly,
one word.
heavenly. Because, guys, I got my pre-diabetes diagnosis, and I'm trying to manage my blood sugar. Well, big fail with that,
Yeah.
but it was worth it.
You're off to a rocking start.
It was worth it. You know what I mean? That was 3 bites. It was good, definitely good stuff. We're going to get that Aris Kodu in a little bit, sir. Just give me a chance to digest over here, okay? It's 8:08. Thank you. Tuesday Treats with 3 Squares Marketplace. Again, 8:08 here, brought to you by Pacific Points, Cavo Enterprises, ITN, and Jack in the Box. Let's go ahead and get into the news now. Our 8 o'clock newscast is brought to you by Pacific Points, right here on the link with the very latest from the KUAM News team. Good morning, Sabrina Salas-Matanani.
Today, everybody, we have a developing story. KUAM has learned that there have been 2 arrests in connection to a 4-year-old case. I want to say it was in 2017. We've learned that Curtis James Bloss and Donovan Elliott Alianza Carriaga have been arrested for aggravated murder. We've learned, again, that this arrest is connected to a 2017 case that was initially reported as a missing persons report. KUAM is waiting for more information from the Guam Police Department about these arrests. Once we get that, we will, of course, pass it along. The Joint Information Center reports 50 people are hospitalized for COVID-19. Additionally, there is 1 pediatric admission. 11 patients are receiving ICU level of care, while 9 are on a ventilator. The JIC also reports that out of the 50 hospitalized patients, 16 are vaccinated, 30 unvaccinated, 1 ineligible to receive the shot. Public Health also reports 128 new cases of COVID from tests conducted over the weekend, to include from private clinics. To date, there have been a total of 17,671 officially reported cases, 227 deaths, 2,071 cases in active isolation, and 15,373 recoveries. The CAR score is 17.6. To date, a total of 123,017, that is 90.26% of Guam's eligible population, is fully vaccinated. As for booster shots or additional doses of vaccines, the following have been administered: 7,982 doses of Pfizer and 299 doses of Moderna. The Guam Department of Education, in the meantime, in their daily report from Monday, reported that 12 more students tested positive for COVID. The cases were identified at 3 from League 1 Elementary, 1 from Machinanao Elementary School, 2 from Maritzo Martyrs Memorial Elementary, 1 from FB Leon Guerrero Middle School, 2 from Untalan Middle School, 1 from JFK, 1 from JP Torres Success Academy, and 1 from Southern High School. GDOE also reported that 1 employee at Machinanao Elementary School has contracted the COVID-19 virus. Millions of children in the U.S. could be eligible for Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine as soon as next week. An FDA panel meets tomorrow to consider recommending emergency use authorization for children's ages 5 to 11, followed by a CDC vote next week. Bradley Blackburn has more.
Children ages 5 to 11 could start getting vaccinated against COVID-19 as soon as early November. An FDA advisory committee is meeting Tuesday to consider recommending emergency use authorization of the low-dose Pfizer vaccine.
The data look good as to the efficacy and the safety.
A review by the agency found Pfizer's pediatric vaccine is nearly 91% effective at preventing symptomatic COVID, with the benefits outweighing the risks of the most serious side effects. That includes myocarditis, a rare heart condition that's been linked to the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines in young men. The inflammation usually subsides on its own in a matter of days. The Biden administration has purchased enough vaccine for the country's 28 million children in that age bracket.
Vaccinating children will be really important for us to be able to return to normal life as we know it.
If the FDA formally signs off on the 2-dose vaccine, kids ages 5 to 11 will be able to get shots at pediatricians' offices and even schools. Mom Kaylee Becker wants her 9-year-old son vaccinated.
We're looking forward to the day that he is, so we can have a matching set of protected kids.
It could also be a game changer for holiday gatherings.
Families that seek their first shot by mid-November, that those children will be considered fully vaccinated by the winter holidays at the end of December.
Moderna says its half-dose vaccine showed a strong immune response in children ages 6 to 11. The company plans to submit data to regulators soon. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Parents, teachers, and supporters of education have come together united for education and have penned a letter to Superintendent of Education John Fernandez titled Forceful COVID-19 Vaccination, Weekly Testing, and Discrimination. The letter states, quote, "We are a group of education stakeholders, teachers, students, support staff, parents, guardians, collectively against the forced experimental vaccination and unnecessary weekly invasive testing imposed upon us. This directive will have great repercussions in our education system, which is already suffering from lack of certified teachers and or support staff. Our focus in education should remain on student learner outcomes and preparing our students for success. The reasons for declining to abide by vaccination or testing orders is not public health or the district's business at all and is a fundamental civil right. However, some may choose to disclose the reasons they are declining, which include valid medical and sincerely held beliefs as the reasons, yet we continue to be discriminated against and threatened with disciplinary action, unpaid leave, and or termination from employment as the only alternative to the orders of getting vaccinated or weekly testing. These are not fair and equitable solutions proposed, and our students, parents, and employees deserve much better. On Monday, GDOE began testing of all GDOE staff who have not complied with the governor's executive order that they be vaccinated or submit to weekly COVID-19 tests. If they do not comply with the governor's order, again, they could face disciplinary action. With more news now, here is Daniel Pears.
This news update is brought to you by Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Half a day, everyone. I'm Daniel Perez with your headlines here on The Link. There's been a resolution of sorts to the dispute over whether to publicly review a major mistake in the local war claims law. That all started when a failed amendment to the bill was somehow inserted that removes any filing of deadlines and opens up claims to potentially thousands of new claimants instead of the 700 or so qualified late filers in the federal program it was intended to help. Nestor Lecanto has more.
The impasse between a group of Republicans and the rest of the body is now over.
is back in session.
It began when a group of 5 GOP senators walked out of session Friday after they were denied their wish to publicly discuss a costly error to the local war claims bill. The lack of a quorum forced a postponement, which continued this morning until about 2 hours into their scheduled start. An apparent compromise was reached in which the original bill would be reintroduced without Speaker Therese Terlahi's amendment that made the major change.
Bill number 217-36 LS is identical to Bill 130 as introduced. I would ask that the public hearing be waived as it is identical, and a public hearing for Bill 130 LS as introduced was had on July 16, 2021.
She also moved to clear out the second reading file of all other bills so that they could prioritize the war claims legislation.
On the motion to pass all bills except for Bill 217 in the second reading to pass on file, are there any objections? Hearing no objections, motion passes.
Session is now scheduled for Monday, November 1st at 1 p.m. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Since its inception on September 23rd, the Infusion Center has seen a high number of patients coming through for treatment. That's according to Dr. Lois Cruz, who gave KUAM the numbers of treated individuals. Here's more. The monoclonal antibody treatment center has been open for a month now, and Dr. Louis Cruz of the Guam Guard was able to provide an update as to how many have been treated so far.
Island-wide, with both hospitals, GRMC, GMH, and the Infusion Mangilaw Center, we've treated over 750 patients island-wide. At the Mangilaw Center alone, we've treated close to 400 patients already. This monoclonal antibody treatment, it's doing what it needs to do in preventing hospitalizations, helping patients feel better faster, and preventing deaths.
So far, only one patient has had an adverse reaction to the MAB treatment.
We did have one very elderly patient come and get the treatment, but I think he needed oxygen, and it was a judgment call where he could or could not have gotten the treatment, where he may have needed to be given treatment at the emergency room or at the hospital. For the most part, there hasn't been any side effects, there hasn't been any issues with the monoclonal antibody treatments, and we continue to make those follow-up calls. And patients are continuing to report that the next day they can feel the effect of the treatment, where they're getting better, they feel like they're not getting worse, their cough or their symptoms have improved.
Dr. Cruz continues to urge local residents to get vaccinated and reiterates that the MAB treatment is not a replacement for the vaccine.
Yes, this is a great addition, the monoclonal antibodies, that will even protect you even further. But when you already have that high level of protection from the vaccine, then you can even get the monoclonals to help you feel better faster, and also to prevent you from being hospitalized.
As for the opening of a possible second infusion center in the South, it seems unlikely.
Now our demand for the monoclonals also has dropped a little bit. We are seeing about 10 to 15 a day, where we were seeing close to 20, 25 or more a day. So there's no plans right now to open up a site down south because the demand is not there.
There are currently 865 courses of the MAB treatment in stock as of this morning, and the FEMA contracted nurses aiding with the infusion center has been extended until mid-November. Daniel. And village booster campaigns continues around the island, and yesterday in Dedido, island residents came out to receive a free booster shot. KOAM's Hannah Devonzo has this report.
The COVID-19 booster shot for the Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, and Pfizer shot was offered at the Dedido Senior Center for those 65 years and above. Although 65 years and above is first priority, other age groups who meet the criteria are now encouraged to come out.
For the Moderna and the Pfizer booster, the eligibility criteria obviously is 65 and older, but for 18 to 64, it's those with underlying medical conditions. So just as an example, diabetes, heart condition, hypertension. If you're a smoker or former smoker, you qualify. Other eligibility criteria include for those who are exposed to COVID-19 because of their job or work, so grocery store, gas station attendants, those in healthcare, frontline workers, of course, those are some of the eligibility criteria. And then for Johnson, and of course it would have to be 6 months or more since you received your second dose. And then for Johnson & Johnson, the eligibility criteria is it's been 2 months or more since you received your dose and you're the age of 18 and older. That's the only eligibility criteria. Also, they do allow for mixing and matching of doses.
Several island residents like Luz Abilio and Andy Ross Tan have eagerly waited to receive their booster shot.
I decided to come and get the booster shot of Moderna because I want to complete the requirement of having the COVID-19 vaccination, and so I'll be fully protected also.
At my age, I need an extra protection, so that's why I need to have my third booster shot.
The next booster clinic will be held on Wednesday in Asan Mayina at the mayor's office from 8:30 to 1:30. Now, if you're eligible and interested, you can go to tinyurl.com/COVIDstopswithme to make your appointment today. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Hannah Devonzo.
Samantha Brennan has been tapped to serve as Guam Homeland Security Advisor, and her appointment is effective today. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero stating, as a longtime public safety officer with over 2 decades of experience, we know she has the intuition and integrity necessary to ensure the the security of our island and our people. She is community-centered and laser-focused. She also served at the Judiciary of Guam for 25 years and retired as a supervisor of the Adult Probation Office. It was in 2019 when she was appointed director of the Department of Corrections and had resigned in November that same year due to controversial anonymous letters written by DOC staff criticizing her leadership. That's it for now. We'll see you tonight for KOAM News Primetime.
This news update is brought to you by Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
All right, everybody, and now let's take a look at Chamorro news headlines sponsored by our friends at First Hawaiian Bank.
Buenos updates to get something gifinut sa morgan ni KUAM News. Presenta ni Familian Mizo gi First Hawaiian Bank. Inapunta si Samantha Brennan sa magahaga Luliang Guerrero para guida Guam Homeland Security Advisor. Inuebo na si Sonia sa tutuong gui pago na dia. Ilang na si Leon Guerrero na seda mamtipon niya si Brennan na opisyal seguridad para publiko sa mas que 20 anyos eksperyensya niya. Lengan na tatunga na mista na tautaw, jagagi minalig gizagwiza, nita nisisita pa seguridad dyan prinitahin ni Islata, dyan tautaw ta. Asesan na tani minalig komunidad, dyan tomtom. Si Brennan sa SEDB Judiciary of Guam para 25 anyos, dyan retiraw na igwiza supervisor para adult probation na opisina. I 2019 nasakan, anay mapunta para Director del Department of Corrections si Brennan. Resign gwi November gwiya nasakan, entiya na maresibi karta gin ni empleo ni DOC siya, ni Central tinadisganao pa di tayo manuhay uiluwi adyan na departamento. Masasunto, Cannabis Control Board sa siya mapatutuy tinilay ka siya gazi recreational cannabis rules and regulations ni rekomenda ni Hinirada Abagadong Guahan. Unuwi ni Sempre Sisu sigo ni CCB na chairperson si Vanessa Williams sa Zilingwahi ni Nimbadgay Minanagwi. Si Williams ni Abagaw Lokwi, asangan na rekomenda ni Hinirada Abagadong Guahan na matugi no i-board ay reglamento siya para mas makomprendi ni manbibusiness. Umano tatigi opisina ni Hinirada Abagaw para merebisita tado peso manawag tigi legislatura para maapreba. Ini na sabin cannabis para adult siya sa manatlay giabri gidos mid-19 nasakan. At na lay sa konsyenti manggaidad para fan mananom size na tungkol marijuana dogi binanding cannabis na banda sa probido hasta kimanafanazan sa maapreba rules and regulations. Yuto mo na sunto para pagmanamatis gin ni KUAM News kifinut sa Moro iminatest na grupon apa si Advanced Child Tax Credit sa ma-process gidyakin sige Oktubri. Ilingay Revenue and Tax na mananaw gi Department of Administration esta no este siya na apas para 18 mid kinentos na tautawgi na tutat 14.3 milyon pesos. Kumun tufong distitutuhon ni Department of Revenue and Taxation, testa ma-process ng 1.3 milyon pesos na salapi para Advanced Child Tax Credit. Para Guam News Network, Gwasikin Conception. Yasuto ifinut sa Moro sa presenta sa ninafato ni Familian Mizo gi First Hawaiian Bank.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, where you get smart insights into your finances so you can make smart decisions with your money. With a daily personalized feed, you can compare your monthly income to spending. That's better. Discover where your money is actually going. You might be surprised. See what's essential and what isn't. The more you use the app, the smarter it gets. With insights from the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, it all starts with yes. The more you use the app, the smarter it gets. With insights from the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, it all starts with yes.
Refresh Guam is the island's newest digital hub. They're on Facebook and Instagram, and they have cool content every single day and daily giveaways.
Refresh Guam, truly local.
Uno Mixed. We're mixing it up on the last Thursday of every month with a look at lifestyle, entertainment, food, and so much more on the stations, networks, and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Uno Mixed is presented to you by Docomo Pacific, Better Together, and Pepsi.
See what's on TV tonight with schedules, network news and notes, local promotions and giveaways on KUAM Communications social media pages. Like and follow us on Facebook or Instagram now for all the latest and never miss out.
Do you feel like you're missing out on something? Make life more rewarding with Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points for bill rebates and free load at IT&E, discounts on fuel at Shell, vouchers at Foodies, and United Mileage Plus miles. You can even pay with Pacific Points at IT&E, Shell, and Foodies. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore. Stop on by and visit our showroom today. We offer everyday low prices on all major outdoor power equipment like bush cutter, chainsaw, power washer, generators, and more. Need service, repair, maintenance? Well, check out Guam's best superstore only at Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape, located in Barragata along Army Drive between Submarina and Besta Market. Call 735-7446 for more information. Now shipping to surrounding islands. Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information. The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage. With generations of Filipinos calling Guam home, KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city, featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by KFC.
KUAM's multi-platform morning show, The Link, just got a little more delicious with Feed Me Fridays. Chris, Sabrina, Jason, and the rest of the morning crew will take some time off each Friday to talk, taste, and tempt you with all the latest and greatest food and drinks on Guam. Old faves, new hits, and everything else we can put in our bellies. It's Feed Me Fridays on The Link, brought to you by King's Restaurants, Ruby Tuesday Guam, and Devondale. This season, KUAM Communications is ready to go with more games, more championships, and more sports specials guaranteed to bring out the fan in you. Don't miss a minute of gameplay from NBC on KUAM TV8 or from CBS on KUAM TV11. We're bringing you all the action and excitement brought to you locally by Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape and Docomo Pacific. Catch SportsLink on the KUAM News Morning Show, The Link, every Friday for the latest sports news, game schedules, athlete profiles, and more. SportsLink airs every Friday across the multi-platforms of KUAM. Tune in to the broadcast on Breeze 93.9 FM, on KUAM TV 11, live stream through the KUAM News Facebook page, or view highlights on YouTube, KUAM News Facebook, and Instagram page. SportsLink is brought to you by Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape.
KUAM Communications continues our perpetuation of our Chamorro culture, language, and heritage with features available to our listening and viewing audience, including streaming of Chamorro music 24 hours per day on Isla Digital Radio on KUAM.com and the KUAM News app. Chamorro News Update, weekdays on The Link and the KUAM News YouTube channel. Conversations about life in our Chamorro language podcast, Cuentos Tapoco, with Kin Conception. Seasonal specials, shows, and other features highlighting the beauty of our language, culture, and history. It's a new era of our continued commitment to our Chamorro heritage. Isla, watch, listen, stream. Viva Isla!
Looking for TV schedules, upcoming sports, or special presentations, or what you may have missed over the busy week you had? Well, look no further than KUAM Digital Digest. This weekly emailed newsletter puts all kinds of information in the hands of subscribers each and every week. Just subscribe and we will make sure you keep up with your favorites and stay informed and entertained throughout it all. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab, give us your email address, and you are all set. Brought to you in digital partnership with King's Restaurant and Ruby Tuesday Guam. It's the KUAM Digital Digest, your weekly guide to the latest information and best entertainment on the stations and platforms of KUAM.
Sail across the ocean, searching for a lady, a woman who will stick by my side. I'm a one-woman man, no need for no one-night stands, and a woman who's got something to hide. I'm a one-woman man, who's the best that I can. When times is tough, man, she's still down to ride.
And we're back. The Link, Pacific Points, Cobble Enterprises, ITN, and Jack in the Box. Well, Bree, how's your breakfast?
It's good. Makes me happy. Chocolate.
Yep, she's got the chocolate mud pie cup from Three Squares Marketplace.
and it's delicious.
I think we need a longer spoon though, because there's so many layers to get to the cake.
It's good though.
You were really
And I like it.
that thing.
I'm swallowing it.
Yeah.
Hello. And it's not super sweet too.
Not right. That was that whipped cream.
Hmm?
Did you get to the caramel?
I did. Got to the pudding. Everything. I don't mess around.
Nope, you don't.
That's a very classic like dessert. That's a parfait.
A parfait. Yeah. Is he not parfait?
Parfait.
Parfait, guys. The translation. 8:33. Let's head over here where Tomas Maglone is literally standing by.
Yeah, I mean, who needs coffee when you
Right.
have this chocolate mud pie? I'm gonna have that later.
Welcome back, Tomas.
Yeah, so we have our daily question. Yesterday we asked, should the war claims law remain expanded to the potential thousands of individuals now eligible because of the legislative error
Right.
That we've been reporting on throughout the last day or two. And I wanted to share some responses. Bonita Guahan over on Instagram direct messaging us saying yes, she would like to see that. Cheryl over on Instagram also commenting on our post saying absolutely. Ty over on our Instagram page says legislative error ... What an embarrassment, he comments. And the last comment we wanted to share with you today comes from Mary, who says, I have always felt that all those who endured the war should receive compensation. So I wanted to share that daily question response with you today. And then we're going to post a new question at 10. And if you missed that, it'll be at 6 on prime time as well. And so you have that to look forward to. And also, I just wanted to share, Chris and Bree, that we did an interview yesterday with the Marianas Alliance of NGOs. Their
Wow.
leadership.
Wait. Hold on, Tomas. The Marianas Alliance of NGOs. Is that like an acronym? Is it spelling?
Mango.
Oh my God. It spells mango.
Yeah, and so they got a huge grant, and they've actually been in operation for the past 11 years, and we got to catch up with their leadership, and they have about, I think it was close to around 40 members of NGOs, and in this pandemic, we've seen how important NGOs, nonprofits are, so that full interview is on YouTube, that you can catch that, and then, of course, if there's time, we'll catch it on the link as well.
Any new developments in things NMI?
Well, at 10:30 this morning is around 10 a.m. is the deadline for Governor Ralph Torres's executive assistant Frances de la Cruz to submit her written affidavit. As we know, as we've been reporting, through her attorney, she says that she's immune from testimony in the House Legislative Probe because she is an executive assistant. So the compromise that they're having after, about an hour of back and forth with the lawyers in the House and her attorney is to have a written affidavit. And so at 10:30, that should be streaming live, and we'll bring you the latest on that on primetime as well. And so we'll see what her written response is. We asked for a copy. The legislators are interested in hearing about travel protocol. Obviously, Governor Torres's travel being called into question, his first class travel, and also just some other documents that she would know about as an executive assistant.
Right. So what was the deal with the former Guam Senator Will Castro? Now, I remember you did a story. Were they just discussing subpoenaing him?
No, they approved the subpoena.
Okay.
Now, the execution is different. They have yet to schedule that, though when we asked the chair, Representative Selena Babata, about it, she said that they're hoping to execute and schedule his...
They're not going to execute him, guys. It just they mean
to
execute
issue the subpoena. They're using the word execute the subpoena.
I mean, I know you don't like us Guam people, but that's just a little harsh.
That is not true, Chris. but yeah, so that we're waiting for that, and of course also, like, for example, right, Governor Torres's subpoena was approved. That hasn't been issued yet, and so we're waiting to see the schedule for that. And today at 10:30 they're supposed to reconvene, and we'll see what happens. I mean, the last session lasted only about 13 minutes, and they spent that time approving additional subpoenas for officers, and then also including former Senator Will Castro in his capacity as a former senator and not as the chief of staff to the governor currently.
Yeah. And just to give people a little bit of background on this, the accusations and allegations against the sitting NMI governor, it's not just relative to buying hot Cheetos and giving Will Castro a bottle of scotch. we're talking about significant questionable expenditures.
Some of the expenditures called into question: his utility bills in the thousands, his use of public safety boats for personal personal protective service officers as well, security officers, use of that for personal reasons, and then also, first class travel. This has been, we first reported on the committee that was forming about a year ago.
Yeah.
And so we have new legislators in the House now who were elected in the last election about not too long after that. And so this is going to continue to develop. And I think what the question on people's minds is, where will this lead to? If it will lead to some sort of impeachment hearing of sorts, given all that is happening, and given that we're just, I don't know if you've noticed, but the election season is already in full swing, at least for the NMI. So we'll have all of that as it comes to us.
Well, I like the interview you did with Governor Ralph Torres, and he had said something like, all these haters, where were they when the tough got going?
Yeah, he said just take a look at the videos that his office puts out, and you'll see that he's on the ground, and he says that he's a proud Republican and will stay a proud Republican. Of course, that being in response to Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios and Saipan Mayor David Apatang, who are running as independents now and are also considering running as Democrats. We'll know for sure
they're Republicans,
in November.
So they were Republicans.
The lieutenant governor is still lieutenant governor, so he's not two doors down from Governor Ralph Torres' office, I think. So
this is like shades of it was Camacho Moylan, right, where they had the rift.
We also heard right in the last legislative hearing that Lieutenant Governor Palacios is basically being iced out of all the even like the COVID briefings.
Did they kick him out of the chat?
I'm not in that chat. I wouldn't know. But,
okay, I wonder.
Yeah.
Or maybe he left on his own.
And so we also know that the NMI Democrats are preparing to announce early November, just I think next week, their slate. And something that we also gave an update on was that Kilili Kilili is running as for re-election, and he submitted his letter of intent to run as a Democrat. And so we know that the Democratic slate is something people are going to be looking at because of Kilili's endorsement and letter of intent to run as a Democrat.
That's so interesting. So Kilili has announced his intention. He's going to run for Congress again.
Yes.
Right? And that puts a squash on all the rumors about him running for governor.
Right,
It's something he said that he was considering.
Yes, and in his letter that he sent to KOAM, he explained that, he believes his best service is in Congress, and I don't think that comes as a surprise, as he's one of the more senior members, especially when it comes to non-voting delegates from U.S. territories. And I think also another thing to consider is that one thing he wrote in the letter that he sent to us too was that, he'd love to stay home, and he'd love to, whether or not, he said, win or lose, if I ran for governor, I would have been able to stay home. And we know something that he's expressed too is the trip back and forth to Washington is something that is very taxing, and something he's been doing for a long time, right? He's served, I think, almost like seven terms already. So yeah.
So interesting. We'll see what if any news comes out from our delegate. He has indicated his inclination, if you will, to seriously considering a run for Adelaide.
Lots of serious considerations going around.
That's right. Everybody is seriously considering things.
Yep.
All right, it's 8:41. Tomas, thank you.
Thank you so much.
There you go, Tomas Manglotnia. What's your Instagram?
Tomas Reporting.
There you go. Check it out. Okay, and that's THOMAS Reporting. You should know how to spell reporting. It's 8:41. Let's head into the KUAM News Zoom room. Or Senator Chris Duenas, the minority leader, is standing by for Minority Report. Hi, Senator. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Chris and Bree and Jason, and I'm seriously working on fixing this mistake.
So yeah, welcome to the show. And like we had said we had Senator Moylan on earlier, and the joke was kind of like, hey, weren't you part of that bill where there was something with an amendment that got snuck in the back or the side and printed out or whatever? So we had a little laugh about it. But what did you make of the chain of events that occurred yesterday in session?
So, I know that some media are dubbing the situation as a walkout, but if I can, and I'll get through this quickly, I really want to give, and you can go back to the video session, which you guys do a lot of and do a really good job of. If you really watch the chronological order of what happened, when we convened session on Friday, after all of the beginning things that we do, the anthem and all the other things that we do to get into session, the speaker gavelled down that we were going to discuss the issues surrounding Bill 130 and the debacle of the amendment that passed that shouldn't have passed, that wasn't included in the bill. And when we went off camera, several of us, the 5 of us Republicans, approached the speaker and said, Speaker, we would like for this to be aired openly on the air so that the people of Guam can see, and it's a transparent process. There was a lot of back and forth on that issue, and we did not prevail. And so what happened was there was the beginning of, the presentation of what had happened, if you will. And so what happened was the 5 of us said, we're not going to participate in this because we've asked you to put it on the record. So we're going to go and have a meeting in the conference room. And that's what we did. Subsequent to that, we came back into session and we had the same request. That request once again wasn't honored. And so when we went on session floor, the speaker recognized Senator Atta because his bill was up. Senator Atta did not rise to hear his bill because Senator Frank Buzz Jr. rose to a motion. And he made a motion to go back to motions for the purposes of putting on the record the issues surrounding the debacle of Bill 130. That was objected to, and the votes were taken, and we didn't have enough votes. Subsequent to that, Senator Blas asked for a recess so that he can convene with the speaker. When he did that, several of us lawmakers again went to the conference room to have a discussion, and Senator Blas, having not been able to get the resolution with the speaker, joined us in the conference room, and we didn't go back into session and create the quorum because we wanted to continue to advocate for a public discussion on this mistake. Now, certainly, I'm not trying to work around a mischaracterization or call it that, but I wanted it to be clear that what we were doing was trying to continue to compel our colleagues to join us in this effort to put this on the record. So the resolution that came about was all 5 of us showed up for session yesterday, Chris, at around a little bit after 10. Most of them were on time. I was running a little bit late. I think I showed up around 10:10. And we once again convened in the conference room to have a conversation with the leadership. And after a couple of hours, the result was we agreed to come back into session. I want to thank the speaker for her leadership in introducing Bill 217. And we agreed to go into session for the placement of nominations on the record for voting next Monday. And we agreed to put only Bill 217 public notice out in order to be able to place it on session agenda. And we agreed that what we would do is dispose of this business before any other business. We agreed that we should play by our rules and make sure that the 5-day notice was adhered to, and that's what takes us into next Monday. All the other bills were passed on file because many in our group of 5 continue to believe that there is no way to move forward in confidence that we would debate other legislation and possibly vote on it until we've fixed this issue and until we've addressed what is now being reconstructed as internal controls on the issue with regard to engrossed bills prior to voting. You know, Chris and Bree, I just want to be straight with you. I'm not taking a victory lap on this because everybody's got a responsibility here. I am admitting that I did not thoroughly review the bill, and I'm on the record saying that. And I'm not making an excuse, but one of the reasons is we have shifted to a new format since I was in the legislature before. My understanding in the 35th Guam legislature was they went to electronic format for 2 reasons. One is that COVID, they're trying to reduce as much as possible all contact, which means using paper having clerks walk around and issue paper and everything else. The staff on the floor, they were trying to completely minimize contact. The second, of course, is it's the thing to do. We're in the new age, right? And it created also savings. You know, there's not truckloads of paper now being required to be delivered to the legislature for the purposes of printing out bills and the like, and it's a savings. In this change, Chris and Bree, what basically has taken place is most of the time, since you're not exchanging paper and you're working off of a Google Drive all of the time, the clerks will send you your amendments as you proffered on the floor and as passed. If the amendments have passed, you confirm that the amendment is in the form under which you had proffered the amendment and had it passed. Once that confirmation is done, we assume that the clerks then take that confirmation and place the amendment into the bill, and the rest of the text of the bill is as introduced, as heard, and as brought to the third reading for voting. In this instance, I even asked the speaker what happened with the amendment. And of course, the logical explanation is it was never presented for confirmation because it didn't pass. So it should never have been in there to begin with. And so fast forward to right now, I think it's important. I don't know that we actually go back to hard copies, but I think what's important, Chris and Bree, we were also under a hurried timeline to vote that night, and we should have not voted. We should have stood up. Several of us were asking not to vote. In fact, the staff was worn out, and we had to even extend the time when we came back that night to vote. There were very serious bills on that agenda. As you know, we passed the medical campus to the tune of $1 billion. We passed the bill for the new prison, heavily debated in committee of the whole. A number of amendments were made. And we had 2 state funerals that week. One lesson I've learned is what's the purpose of rushing voting? You're only going in to vote. You know, voting basically takes about an hour. You're not necessarily staying in session because you've decided to vote. You can push that off by a week if you wanted to, and not do any other legislative business except for go to our offices and do a more thorough review. And in my contrite apology to the people of Guam, that's what I will do going forward.
Senator, so you know this the amendment in question, the amendment, you know which one I'm talking about?
Say again, Chris?
The amendment in question, the one that grew legs and inserted itself into the bill?
Yes, what about it?
Yeah, so I know it was a rule materially different the first time, but do you anticipate any amendments like that one being introduced now that you guys have had a few days to kind of just read the room and see maybe what or how people are feeling about that amendment?
I, for one, won't support it, and I would be disappointed if it was proffered, and here's why, Chris. I think that a substantive discussion and for the very purpose that it was ruled out of order, I believe that this needs a public hearing as a standalone bill where all of the people of Guam are able to come to a public hearing and discuss the merits of the program. I think the program has merit. The problem is that it's hugely expensive and there is no identified funding source. I want to say once again, in identifying my appreciation for leadership, the Lieutenant Governor has been on the record so far. I think he's been the spokesperson for the administration, saying that they are moving forward with the intent of Bill 130 as passed in public law to prepare a program for the intended $10 million payout estimate for that class of individuals who we need to concentrate on right now, survivors. I consider myself, Chris, I don't know if you do, I consider myself a survivor of a survivor. My dad survived. My dad was affected by the war. My dad was affected by decisions made not under his control. My dad actually had to exhume his brother. He is a war survivor. He's not with us anymore. He is a war survivor. I am a survivor of a survivor. I also want to make sure that when we hear this legislation, because I'm going to put on the record now, I will have no conflict of interest because I will not apply for any compensation for my dad's suffering. That doesn't mean that I don't believe in others who firmly believe that they would go forward and do that, and that's their absolute right to do so. But we should do it on the right and proper conditions and situations. We should establish the fact that the funding source is viable and that it doesn't interfere with healthcare, education, public safety, and all the needs of our economy of Guam. Chris, we've got a lot of work to do in the remaining time in this session. We've got to figure out how to shore up tourism. We've got to figure out how to make sure that all these shuttered businesses don't go away forever. We got to make sure we're prepared going forward into the future. We got to make sure we can help people who no longer have FPUC or PUA if there's no jobs available. We don't know what the future holds in terms of our economy and our tax base when we no longer have all of those millions and millions of dollars coming in because of FPUC and PUA and all the withholding taxes. We don't have a plan for ARP. That's just a short list, Chris. And I am committed to, if an individual introduces a standalone bill on a secondary program for war claims, to work right alongside that committee and vet that process. But it's going to have a viable funding source that does not interfere with the day-to-day operations of our government and the critical services to our people.
Did you see that Lester Carlson interview we did?
I haven't had a chance to see Lester's interview. I think the last one I saw was his basically comment to us at the legislature that don't worry about the ARP plan. We'll tell you when it's your time, and I'm offended by that.
How so?
Why am I offended?
Yeah.
I'm offended because that money was given by the federal government to the people of Guam to rescue the people of Guam. That money was not given to the people of Guam so that political games can be played, so that individuals can hold on to money and decide winners and losers. That money was given to the people of Guam to help rescue Guam. And I tell you, I'm pretty social guy. I pick up my own groceries. I go to the store. I fill bottles of water. I'm out in the public. I don't have people, doing errands for me or the like. And the mood and the temperament out there is help us. And the mood and the temperament out there is do the right thing by the resources that the federal government has given us. And I always have to respond, we have tried. We have given our plan. It's not perfect, but our plan includes Chamorro Land Trust infrastructure reconstruction so we can help people who are homeless. Our plan includes funding, job opportunities. Our plan includes supporting education and retraining for the workforce. Our plan includes, making sure that we can help utilities to stave off increases in utility costs. Our plan is very, very detailed, and our plan doesn't include saying that we're going to give $300 million for the purposes of the new hospital when we were not even sure that we could use that. Now, I know Lester says, just read the paper. I told you in the paper that it is allowable. I've not seen the black and white transmission from the federal government saying, Governor of Guam, you're absolutely within your authority to use $300 million for the new hospital. Once again, leadership. I got to thank the congressman for working really hard to make sure that $360-some million is in the infrastructure plan for Guam if the infrastructure bill will pass. If you're watching Washington, D.C., it appears as though if the talks break down, the minimum that would pass would be the infrastructure bill. And it is the first infrastructure bill that contains that type of resources for infrastructure. There's your $367 million that obviously is appropriated for these purposes. Help the people of Guam, Governor. That's what we're calling on you to do. And please don't tell the people of Guam that you'll get your plan when you get it. because that's not leadership.
Senator, what did you make of the? So there's the LEAP, right? And then there was the other. What was the other one called, Bree?
I think Pertailinalata.
Yeah. So there's two different ones. There's one where there's like 25 million. The governor has ponied up 25 million in ARP, and then Senator Shelton has introduced a measure to get another 25 mil from the general fund, and then there's the measure the Republicans have, right?
Yeah, once again, going back to leadership, I want to thank Senator Frank Blas Jr. and to asking me to be a co-sponsor on the bill that allows the governor an additional 5% of transfer authority in order to be able to pay, this issue to help, the TARP plan for the tourism industry. I do understand Senator Amanda Shelton's introduction of her bill. The thing is that it calls on the general fund. The general fund has not been identified yet. There is no identified funding source. There is an unaudited anticipation of upwards of $60 million that the administration has said that the final CRER of fiscal year 2021 identifies. Now, our good speaker has some contention with that with regard to prioritizing tax refunds. There might have to be some compromise with regard to that if that becomes a true funding source in terms of a surplus. And that's the reason why Senator Frank Blas Jr., myself, and Senator Tony Ada did not want to disturb the current budget ceiling. Because if that money has been realized, then it would be subject to appropriation, we believe. And if that's subject to appropriation, then that can become the funding source without affecting the current budget ceiling. We want to make sure our creditors continue to watch the fact that, we go to the market from time to time and we want to go to the market to build a hospital and a prison. We want to show that we can live within the budgets that we pass. And so I don't want to, and Senator Blas and Senator Tony Ada and many of us on the Republican side don't want to tinker with the current budget ceiling. We want to make sure that we operate within that budget ceiling, and if there is a surplus, then we can appropriate it. Perhaps, I know that the Speaker identified at least 20 million from the potential surplus. If it becomes a reality, maybe the balance of that can be agreed upon as the funding source for the transfer authority for the governor. And so as far as I'm concerned, we, Senator Frank Blas Jr., along with myself and Tony and other Republicans, have taken the lead to make sure that Senator Amanda's bill has the funding source.
Any word on when your bill will be go up for a public hearing? I noticed that already Senator Shelton's bill is already scheduled for a public hearing on Monday.
Yeah, I've had some conversations with Senator Joe. He likes the bill, the chairman, Senator Joe Snogstein. And so I anticipate that he will hear the bill, either simultaneously or shortly after. One thing I think is important is, this program obviously is not designed to dump 50 million. Frank and I and Tony are asking for 75 million because that's what they asked for originally. It's not as designed to dump that, into accounts and say, Merry Christmas. It's designed to trickle out, right? So that you help those businesses sustain themselves over the next year and a half while tourism, while Governor Gutierrez and his team and everything else go out there and try to shore up tourism and get it back on its feet in Jerry Paris. And so the thing is that the governor, since she's identified ARP money, can start the program, get everything rolling, make sure that, the folks understand the parameters of the program and get it going. And then this appropriation coming behind it can shore up the program for the balance of the time that we need to take care of our tourism industry. It's the right thing to do.
All right.
Right on. Anything in closing?
Really appreciate you guys. Can I add one more thing?
Yeah, add two more things. Go for it.
Bree, I think your top story, although of course so many other things are grabbing headlines, I think the top story is the success of the monoclonal antibodies. Over 750, I believe. KOAM has taken the lead on this story and interviewed the gentleman who's running that program. And you know what? I just want to be on the record now. I'm not a doctor. I'm married to a beautiful nurse who's excellent at what she does. And I want to go on the record saying now that I believe there's a potentiality that we don't have overflowing ICUs and stuff like that. And it's tapering right now in terms of the surge. because those seriously ill folks have gotten this monoclonal antibody treatment. I now have 4 people who I know who have received the treatment. 3 vaccinated, 1 unvaccinated. And they say that it was a miracle. Within 24 to 48 hours, they felt no symptoms and they were good as new. So treatment, not vax mandates, works.
I just want to say that we did interview one lady who got the treatment, and it was an unfortunate situation for her because she popped positive on a Friday, and I think she had to wait through the weekend to get the treatment on a Monday. But she said she got really sick by the time she went to get the treatment, but they still cleared her for it, and then she ended up being pretty ill for a few days. So it was funny because me and Bree, she's a friend of Bree's, and she wanted to come on, and we were like, oh, that's great, let's get on, because we do want to get the word out about this treatment for exactly the same reasons you just said. But then when she started talking about how she received the treatment and how sick she was for a few days, I was like kind of looking down like, oh my God, this is not the positive account that we wanted.
Well,
no, but she was grateful that she
totally
the
grateful.
treatment.
Of course, totally, yeah. I
Of
mean,
course, I can't identify my latest friend, right? But the thing is that here's what he said, which was really, really interesting, because this goes back to the Wen wisdom that I think we need to continue to use, right? Dr. Wen, I call it Wen wisdom. But this individual was vaccinated, and his original symptom really was just severe back pain. And he didn't know, like he hadn't had back pain, as a chronic issue, but it was just so severe. And he didn't have some of the other stuff like the headache and just really the backache. So he just said, you know what, I'm vaccinated, but I'm going to go get tested. He went and got tested, and sure enough, he was positive. And so his only severity was, he didn't have troubles breathing. He didn't have any other stuff, but it was that severe back pain. He went there, and like I said, within 48 hours, he was good as new. Of course, he incubated for the balance of the 10, 15 days, whatever it took, in order to stay safe and not spread anything. But man, I mean, think about it. If we continue to get that message out there, you're vaccinated, you're fully vaccinated, you might even have a booster, but something happens to where you're like, wait, this is not normal. I got severe back pain, or I've got body aches for nothing. Maybe it's the flu, but maybe because I know already that breakthrough is an issue, I could still have COVID. Go get tested. If you are, and like Dr. Wen said, you're experiencing symptoms, get over there, get the monoclonal, and it's there, it's available, and more than likely it will save your life and keep you out of the hospital.
Yep.
Thank you, Senator.
Thanks,
you just
Senator.
want to say, Chris and Bree, have a great day.
You too.
Bree, that food looked good. I want to go get me one.
Yeah, it's three squares of Marketplace. Okay, get you a chocolate mud pie cup.
So I'll have to change from my fried chicken, and I go over there and get
Hey, fried chicken is
Let's do both,
bomb.
man. It's an unprecedented time. All right, there you go, Senator
Take
Chris
care.
Duenas. He is the minority leader, and we bring him on like every other week for the Minority Report. It's 9:05. We're going to take a quick break, and we're coming back with more of the link next.
Uno Mixed. We're mixing it up on the last Thursday of every month with a look at lifestyle, entertainment, food, and so much more on the stations, networks, and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Uno Mixed is presented to you by Docomo Pacific, Better Together, and Pepsi.
Looking for TV schedules, upcoming sports, or special presentations, or what you may have missed over the busy week you had? Well, look no further than KUAM Digital Digest. This weekly emailed newsletter puts all kinds of information in the hands of subscribers each and every week. Just subscribe and we will make sure you keep up with your favorites and stay informed and entertained throughout it all. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab, give us your email address, and you are all set. Brought to you in digital partnership with King's Restaurant and Ruby Tuesday Guam. It's the KUAM Digital Digest, your weekly guide to the latest information and best entertainment on the stations and platforms of KUAM.
Listen, watch, and learn from the daily Chamorro News updates from KUAM News. Catch them on the link during the 8 o'clock hour, streaming online on Isla Radio, or on the KUAM News YouTube channel for your convenience. Tune in and stay informed, all while preserving our precious culture through the daily use of our native Chamorro language. Chamorro News updates are brought to you by your familia at First Hawaiian Bank. The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage. With generations of Filipinos calling Guam home, KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city, featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by KFC.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Do you feel like you're missing out on something? Make life more rewarding with Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points for bill rebates and free load at IT&E, discounts on fuel at Shell, vouchers at Foodies, and United Mileage Plus miles. You can even pay with Pacific Points at IT&E, Shell, and Foodies. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Want a better look at your spending? With MoneyMap, you can automatically create budgets and manage where your money is going. Know when you have a green light, or when it's time to slow down. Maybe cook more meals at home this week. Set your goals, track your progress, and find your way to exactly where you want to be with MoneyMap from the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. It all starts with yes.
Marianas Irrigation and Landscape Superstore. Stop on by and visit our showroom today. We offer everyday low prices on all major outdoor power equipment like bush cutters, chainsaw, power washer, generators, and more. Need service, repair, maintenance? Well, check out Guam's best superstore only at Marianas Irrigation and Landscape, located in Barragata along Army Drive between Submarina and Besta Market. Call 735-7446 for more information. Now shipping to surrounding islands. Marianas Irrigation and Landscape Superstore.
Catch Sports Link on the KUAM News Morning Show, The Link, every Friday for the latest sports news, game schedules, athlete profiles, and more. Sports Link airs every Friday across the multi-platforms of KUAM. Tune in to the broadcast on Breeze 93.9 FM, on KUAM TV 11, live stream through the KUAM News Facebook page, or view highlights on YouTube, KUAM News Facebook, and Instagram page. Sports Link is brought to you by Marianas Irrigation and Landscape.
This holiday season, we're once again bringing together the island's largest array of local vendors for a special innovative way for you to shop, broadcast, and go digital with Team KUAM. Join us on Sunday, November 28th for the annual Christmas Pops Virtual Holiday Market at 12 noon on KUAM TV 8 and the KUAM News Facebook page, plus additional show times through December 11th. We'll also be featuring vendors daily with posts with QR codes and links on our social media pages beginning Monday, November 29th, and hosting an exclusive Christmas Pops website for your one-stop shopping. It's a safe and convenient way for you to shop local this holiday season. To reserve your spot, email promotions@kuam.com today. Virtual space is limited.
Quand il me parle dans ses bras, il me parlait du bas, je vois la vie en creuse. Il me dit des mots d'amour de tous les jours, et ça m'a fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur et parlait de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi, moi pour lui dans la vie. Il me l'a dit, l'a juré pour la vie. Hey, tant que je l'aperçois, alors je sens moi mon cœur qui bat.
Very, very interesting choice of music, Chris.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That's cool. That's classic.
Serena Monthness. This is a classic cut from Live Local Fridays.
Yeah, I thought we might be watching like Ratatouille there at like some point, but
It's La Vie en Rose. There's Louis Armstrong did this many years back. But so we had her on, and she was saying, and congratulations, by the way. I believe she's pregnant.
Nice.
But she was talking about how her grandma used to sing this song. Yeah, and so she performed it. Really great. I mean, obviously, very strong vocal there. Serena Momphis.
Really hard to do. I know.
Yeah.
I know this piece, and this takes talent to pull this off.
Right
You gotta
on.
have quite the range.
Well, speaking of talent, ladies and gentlemen, let's turn it over to Jason Salas. Good morning, Jason.
I am merely but a conduit for the awesome guests we have here on the link, and our next guest is Neil Tinkham. He is a filmmaker, a creative storyteller. So we really appreciate that because that's something that we enjoy doing here. And he's with the Pacific Island COVID Response Team. And Neil, first of all, welcome to the show. We're glad to have you on the link. Half a day.
Half a day, yeah, glad to be here.
All right, and Neil, there's been the fact that you're actually lending your talents, the fact that you want to chronicle and hopefully provide answers and tell the story about Guam's COVID experience. Let's kind of like set it up like that is very worthwhile because there's a lot going on right now about that. There's been at least one academic study that's being commissioned to study the effects of COVID on Pacific people and even converse to that, like why COVID is affecting people with our lineage so much and why we're so susceptible to it and everything like that. So maybe you could start out with talk about like your project and like what angle you take when it comes to Pacific peoples and how we're having to endure like this COVID odyssey.
Okay, yeah. So I'm based in Los Angeles, and so the organization that I work for is the Pacific Islander COVID-19 Response Team, the SoCal Pacific Islander COVID-19 Response Team. And so what they've been doing, since all of this started was trying to kind of understand, like you are asking, like how does COVID affect the Pacific Island community, but specifically within Southern California, and, what sort of resources are needed, and, what are the unique ways that we need to kind of approach, at first getting people tested, right? When we were trying to understand kind of just how bad this was. And then now getting the Pacific Island population vaccinated. And, we've seen that there's been a lot of unique challenges. And like one of the main issues is just kind of, the fact that as Pacific Islanders, we tend to get grouped together with Asian Americans, right? It's always the Asian American and Pacific Islander population, right? It's always the AAPI.
Yeah.
And that tends to kind of skew things because when we're grouped together with the Asian American population, because the Asian Americans are doing so well in terms of, getting tested, keeping their case rate down, and even getting vaccinated, it seems that Pacific Islanders are also part of that group, and that Pacific Islanders are also doing really well. But when you actually disaggregate the data and you see Pacific Islanders as a separate category, you actually see that we are much worse off than most other ethnic groups.
Yeah.
We have the highest case rate, we have the highest death rate, and we have the lowest vaccination rate. And so, those statistics are really alarming. And so that's why, this organization and all of these other Pacific Island organizations throughout Southern California are so important in terms of trying to, get resources to the communities, trying to tailor our messaging to the communities to try and, convince people to, get vaccinated, even get tested and, offer things that, if anyone does come down with COVID, we can address this at a community level, which is really, like how Pacific Islanders, we kind of tend to, function is in that kind of space as opposed to, all sorts of, like government, involvement and things like that.
Yeah,
So
and no disrespect to our brothers and sisters, from Asian communities with whom, we have learned a lot and we share a lot, and certainly culturally, there's a lot of parallels that we have, and we're so much better off for it. But at the same time, our genetic makeup is decidedly different, and so is theirs and everything like that. And how much are you finding out about like through your work and through this project as far as what we eat, the way we our approach to lifestyle, to fitness, and to the family atmosphere and everything. And again, these are things that obviously we have a lot of in common with other people in the region, but we're kind of our own thing too. And maybe further to that, when you talk about Pacific Islanders, that is like regional by definition, but that's a huge chunk of the world. You're talking about Melanesia, Polynesia, Micronesia, and then like South Pacific, Western Pacific, and everything like that. That's a massive amount of people.
Yeah, and so that's kind of the frustration that we have is we feel like we should have more representation, or at least be distinguished more than, always being, kind of clumped together. And, what this just shows us is, there are very, certain things that, make Pacific Islanders more susceptible to something like COVID, right? Like you said, like lifestyle and things like that. We tend to have, higher rates of, certain diseases and things like that. And that's, makes you susceptible to COVID. And also just kind of, the history that we have, when it comes to, say, interacting with the US government, right? There can be, some, a lot of distrust there. And so, that might be, that, is probably part of the reason why, the vaccine campaigns aren't, infiltrating as deeply as we would like them to be within Pacific Island communities. And so then that also shows, okay, well, how can we address this? And so another unique way, like what I was mentioning before, was, just kind of making this a very community-based type thing. And so we have community vaccination clinics, like weekly, and we usually set them up in churches that are run by Pacific Island pastors and things like that. And so, we try and get them, in various, locations, within the community, and then also tailoring like social media posts and things like that. Like PSAs. So that's, kind of the things that I'm working on. I do their communications. And so it's working on, PSAs, making them in language, all of the various Pacific Island languages, and, making the visuals and all of that, more representative of Pacific Islanders. And then, I worked with Chris Barnett on, some PSAs, and, it's all geared towards, reaching and speaking to Pacific Islanders, and kind of addressing any issues they might have, or trying to alleviate any, fears that they might have.
How big, Neil, of a population are you talking about? Because, even just within the Southern California area, with Pacific peoples and everything like that, how many people do you estimate, you're trying to reach?
Oh gosh, man, I wish I had an answer for you for that, because it can. I think like
I'm saying in the tens of thousands, easy. I would assume.
Yeah, it might be even getting up to like 100,000 or so.
Wow.
It is big, and it's all there's the big populations, right? There's a lot of Chamorros, there's a lot of Samoans and Tongans, Hawaiians. There's even Marshallese and Fijians. So they're everywhere. And, we all kind of, stick together, right? And so, the trick is trying to find them. But everyone pretty much, comes together, and these organizations that they have, are really great ways to, see where they are, who's kind of, where. And so that's, a great way to kind of like trickle down to the individuals, is through these organizations that, are spread out, that are kind of focused on one particular island nation.
Okay, well, let me pick your brain about something. Let me ask you something strategically, if I may, Neil, because we kind of are in the same boat as are you, and we're a news media company, so we're kind of charged with the same responsibility of kind of getting the message out and trying to speak with conviction to people that please get vaccinated, know your status, get tested, take care of your family, take care of your neighbors, take care of your family. But we're kind of, maybe like you're experiencing, Guam is such a diverse melting pot here, and we've got two, soon to be 3 military bases. We've got people from all the other like regions that are near to us and everything. Guam's got a huge Filipino population and everything like that. So messaging for us is a big challenge too. So what are some of the maybe the methods that you found to be successful when you're trying to get essentially a core message out to that many people at the same time, and try and like make sure that when it hits them and everything like that, like they get it, and you're sensitive to their particular needs, but they're like, wow, I understand, and I know that this is a good thing, and I have to do this because what I believe as a Pacific Islander and everything, this speaks to myself as someone who prioritizes respect and family and reverence for the elderly, and making sure that like the kids do better than I am and everything like that. So what are some of the ways that you found to be successful?
Yeah, so like some of the things that I do is I will create like social media posts that we put like on all of the major platforms, right? So understanding that that's a great way to reach people, right? So things like Instagram is going to be for the younger audience, Facebook for the older audience, things like that. And then we try and target, like key groups. So, we've got the youth, we've got the adults, we've got the faith-based organizations, like the faith population, because those are really big around here. Then we also got, like the elderly. And so, just kind of, each messaging kind of, addressing one of those groups. And, maybe if it's a 3-pronged thing, maybe just coming up with, one issue that's currently going on, right? So right now, if you want to go out to the restaurant or to, watch a game, you have to have proof of vaccination, right? And so then, trying to come up with a solution, right? Telling people, okay, well, join the 75% of, eligible adults who are now fully vaccinated, right? So trying to find some information that is relevant to them, and then giving them directing them to a resource. So we usually do everything through PacificIslandHealth.org. And so always just kind of directing people through that. So that way, if they want to find any further information, that's where they can do it. And then, just having that message in all of the different languages, all of the, main Pacific Island languages, and then just kind of sending it out to the people that are the heads of these different organizations. And then from there, they can, send it out and reach their community base, whoever, is following them on, the social media.
Right on. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully we're both with our approaches. We're doing the right thing. And, as time will show, we're hopefully reaching some people and changing some hearts and minds. But, as they say, many hands make light work. So how big is the team on the Pacific Islanders COVID response team? Like, how many people do you have working on this problem?
It's not too big, it's maybe, like the core, like the people that I've been working with, maybe it's just about, there's no more than 10. And, it's people that have been involved in the community, involved with this type of work, like public health type stuff for years. I'm the newbie. I just joined back in, over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And, there are ladies that have been doing this, this has been their life's work for decades.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's been one facet or another, right? Because there's all sorts of, public health things that, affect Pacific Islanders before COVID happened. And so, now this has become the main focus, everything that we're, driving towards.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they also work for various organizations a lot of them are just doing this, it's like volunteer work, they work 9 to 5 and then they come home and do this community work. I'm getting paid. But, a lot of these ladies, they have, other organizations that they work for, and then they're doing this SoCal Pickard thing, in their free time. SoCal Pickard is trying to it's almost like trying to unify, all the different organizations out there in Southern California. So they're trying to create a central hub. And, yeah.
Well, I don't know if I can pick a characteristic that would be any more representative and indicative of Pacific Island people to just say, hey, my neighbors or my village is in trouble right now. So I'm first man through the door. Let me know where you need me and everything like that. Let me know what you need me to do, because, it's part of how I was taught when I was growing up, and it's what I'm passing down to my children, that, if your community is in trouble and everything like that, you help out.
Mm-hmm.
So that being the case, there's certainly people watching us right now, and we've got a lot of our viewers watching on Facebook who are from or near Southern California right now. So if people would like to join up and, they've been inspired to help you in your work and everything like that, how can they reach you?
Yeah, the best way is just through our website, PacificIslanderHealth.org. And from there, you can reach our we have our email and stuff like that. And then you can also see us on Instagram. So it's Pacific COVID. And so that's our main Instagram page. And there you can, find links to our Facebook page. I think maybe we have a TikTok. I don't know. Maybe we're getting there. Then we're also on Twitter, stuff like that.
All right, and you've got my guy Chris Barnett over here, helping you guys out too. So happy. We're happy to lend our bullhorn to your cause as well too. You recruited a good guy.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah. And if there's anything you need from our show and everything like that, we're always happy to help, because again, we're Pacific Islanders too, and this is our extended family as well. So calling us whenever you need help, we're happy to lend a hand.
All right, awesome, thanks. Yeah.
All right, hey, you're doing the Lord's work, man. So good luck in your quest, and let's keep in touch.
Okay. Right.
All right, that's Neil Tinkham with the Pacific Islanders COVID response team. Everybody, please stay tuned, because the link will continue right after this.
Breast cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death in women. the chances that a woman will die of breast cancer is about 1 in 38. Although there is no sure way to prevent breast cancer, there are certain things that you can do, such as eat healthier and exercise. For more information about breast cancer, go to the American Cancer Society's website at cancer.org. Also, on October 22nd, we invite you to think pink by wearing the color pink on that day in solidarity of our breast cancer survivors and warriors.
This pink message is brought to you in partnership with Ordot Dental Clinic, joining the fight against cancer in honor of brave warriors, survivors, and their families. Island Cancer Center and American Cancer Society.
Uno Mixed. We're mixing it up on the last Thursday of every month with a look at lifestyle, entertainment, food, and so much more on the stations, networks, and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Uno Mixed is presented to you by Docomo Pacific, Better Together, and Pepsi.
Take in the panoramic beauty of our island each Sunday on the KUM News Instagram with Scenic Sundays. Scroll through the natural beauty of the island on display. Scenic Sundays on the KUM News Instagram is brought to you by Addis Trust and Investment, Location, Service, Trust, and Haagen-Dazs Shops Guam, where every day is made extraordinary.
This holiday season, we're once again bringing together the island's largest array of local vendors for a special innovative way for you to shop, broadcast, and go digital with Team KUAM. Join us on Sunday, November 28th for the annual Christmas Pops Virtual Holiday Market at 12 noon on KUAM TV8 and the KUAM News Facebook page, plus additional show times through December 11th. We'll also be featuring vendors daily with posts with QR codes and links on our social media pages beginning Monday, November 29th, and hosting an exclusive Christmas Pops website for your one-stop shopping. It's a safe and convenient way for you to shop local this holiday season. To reserve your spot, email promotions@kuam.com today. Virtual space is limited.
The KUAM Podcast Network is back and on demand, featuring a great variety of podcasts from our island and region, including culture, lifestyle, awareness, crime, politics, commentary, comedy, and entertainment. Available on most streaming platforms. The KUAM Podcast Network. Subscribe and listen now. The Totomotna Tales. October on the KUAM Podcast Network.
See what's on TV tonight with schedules, network news and notes, local promotions and giveaways on KUAM Communications social media pages. Like and follow us on Facebook or Instagram now for all the latest and never miss out.
Money matters when you're broke, and when you're broke, and money fixes for a while. If you got money in your wallet, you got permission to enjoy yourself for a while. Money burns, money turns the very best into the worst criminal child. Money matters, money kills, money makes the world go round. Money, money ain't the villain, money, it's greed that's the killer. Money.
All right, the link continues. Hope you enjoyed that last interview with Neil Tinkin. He and his team doing really, really good things out there in the SoCal, helping our Pacific Island brothers.
SoCal.
Helping our Pacific Island brothers and sisters stay safe. And if you would like to stay safe, remember today there is COVID testing absolutely free from our friends at the Department of Public Health and Social Services. You got to go to the old Carnival grounds at Teedsen. Just, if you know the way to get to Teedsen High School or the GDOE headquarters or Guam Police Department, go in that side of Teedsen, hang an immediate right, and then go all the way around. And then when you see like the big field, there's a football field out there, baseball fields, you're on the right track. You just hang a left in there, and Public Health will take care of you. It's very, very quick. 8 to 12. So it started about maybe about an hour and a half ago, and it goes until high noon. Tests are on a first-come, first-served basis. Please check them out if you need to get tested. On Friday, though, if your plans don't permit you getting tested until Friday, go down to the Southern Regional Health Center in Inalahan, in beautiful Inalahan, and they will set you up down there. Public Health will. And remember, like we had Dr. Ho Wen on earlier. He's over at American Medical Center, one of several private clinics that can also give you the test or the booster vaccine if you do qualify. So please help out our community, and thank you from all of us on the link.
Right on, Jason. 9:32, Tuesday, October 26th. Let's go ahead and get into Cover Me, brought to you. Oh, yeah. Okay, we do have an update with Sabrina Salas Matanani, guys. Breaking news from the KUAM news team. Good morning, Sabrina.
Good morning. We have an update to the story we brought you early this morning regarding the two arrests for aggravated murder. The Guam Police Department has just issued a press release regarding those arrests. It was for the death of 39-year-old Adam Messier. He was reported missing on September 21st of 2017. And it was just last month when agents from the Criminal Investigation Division, they received a tip about the case while they were investigating an unrelated case. So again, arrested for aggravated murder in connection to the Adam Messier 2017 case were Curtis James Bloss and Donovan Elliot Alianza.
A lot of information to come out on this case today. That's pretty, wow. Guy was reported missing in 2017.
Yep.
Wow.
And he also has, I was looking up our old story about Mr. Messier. He was last seen, again, by family and friends on the 14th at the Horizon condos in Upper Tumon.
Right.
And he also is listed as a registered sex offender. And according to the sex offender registry, he was convicted in 2015 and 2016 for sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl. But again, 2 people have been arrested for aggravated murder.
There you go, 9:34. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and do Cover Me with my friend Fluff. That's coming up right here on the link. Good morning.
Join KUAM every Wednesday on Primetime for Inside Business. It's our new weekly segment featuring the struggle of Guam's businesses during this global pandemic. We'll hear from industry leaders about the difficult decisions they were forced to make to implement cutoffs, layoffs, and shorten hours just to survive. It's the other side effect of COVID, the island's economic crisis. We'll also feature new businesses that managed to open and thrive during these challenging times. It's Inside Business every Wednesday on KUAM News Primetime.
This season, KUAM Communications is ready to go with more games, more championships, and more sports specials guaranteed to bring out the fan in you. Don't miss a minute of gameplay from NBC on KUAM TV8 or from CBS on KUAM TV11. We're bringing you all the action and excitement brought to you locally by Marianas Irrigation and Landscape and Docomo Pacific. The world of television is more exciting than ever. Don't miss a minute of special presentations from NBC on KUAM TV8 or from CBS on KUAM TV11. Every month, we'll bring you the fun and excitement of award shows and red carpet moments, special series presentation, and other great network programs. Brought to you locally by King's Restaurant, Ruby Tuesday Guam, and Docomo Pacific, giving you more reasons to tune in and turn on. Fall in love with TV again with the best from KUAM Communications.
Uno Mixed. We're mixing it up on the last Thursday of every month with a look at lifestyle, entertainment, food, and so much more on the stations, networks, and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Uno Mixed is presented to you by Docomo Pacific, Better Together, and Pepsi.
The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage. With generations of Filipinos calling Guam home, KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city, featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by KFC.
I need a girl to walk with in the sand. Oh, sing na 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 na. Oh, sing na 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 na. Oh, sing na 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 na.
Hey, good morning, 938. Pacific Points, Cabo Enterprises, IT&E, and Jack in the Box. Proud to present The Link. Good morning. Let's go to do Cover Me, which is brought to you by Burger King, guys. The ghost pepper chicken tenders. Mwah, delicious. You can also check out those chicken fries on a Friday.
Why wait till Friday? Check them out today.
Yeah, go check them out today. But if you go on Friday and you say, I love, love, love chicken fries, or wait, I'm sorry. If you go on Friday and you say,
I love, love, love chicken. You got to have conviction.
yeah, you got to own it. It's got to be like once, twice, 3 times the chicken fry. Just like that.
I don't think Lionel would mind us borrowing that.
Yeah. You get another one absolutely free. Let's do it then. Our good friend Fluffy Kedza with his Cover Me this morning. Anun Talaika. Good morning.
Anun Talaika. Hihinasomu. Sa ohi di parang dinguzu. Eni no yun mogi. Ni kui nai tamu. Tundalak tu parai zomi. Na yaw la hosmu. Ay taksa la bemu. Lo ties yang sinya bayu tu kuidyo. Deni no yun mogi. Ni kui nai tamu. Sundalak tu parai zomi. If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, baby, bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me. And I'll give you jewelry and money too. That ain't all I'll do for you. Baby, bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me. Anun Talaika. Ihinasomu. Sa ohi di parang dingutu. Neni no yun mogi. Ni kui nai zamu. Tundalak tu parai zomi.
Man, good stuff there. Fluff with Cover Me. Brought to you by Burger King and Docomo Pacific. Let's go now to our good friend and colleague Tomas Maglotnia as he sits down with members of the Marianas Alliance of NGOs. Get it? It spells mango. Wow. Their principal purpose to provide leadership and technical assistance for nonprofit organizations in the CNMI. And again, it's our very own Tomas Maglotnia with this interview right here on the link. Good morning.
All right, welcome back. And now we're joined with members of the Marianas Alliance of Non-Governmental Organizations, or MANGO. Auntie Frances, I think we'll start with you. Do you mind just introducing yourself, and then we'll go down the line and your affiliation to MANGO?
Yes, thank you, Thomas. I'm Frances Savon. I'm the executive director for MANGO, one of the founding mothers for the organization. And I'll go into the history later.
Hi, good morning. My name is Ryan Camacho. I'm the project director for the Lemay May project of MANGO.
Good morning. My name is Angelica Narvaez, and I'm the program assistant for MANGO.
Hi, I'm Shauna Babaka. I'm the training manager here at MANGO.
All right, thank you all for joining us. Really appreciate you taking time out of your day. So for those of you who don't know MANGO, right, as you put it on your website, the principal purpose is to provide leadership and technical assistance for nonprofit organizations in the CNMI. And so actually, as we were just chatting before we went on the air, it's about an 11-year-old organization, and you received a huge ANA grant that has allowed you to expand. So why don't we just start there with how you were formed and your mission and the opportunities through that grant that you recently received.
Thank you, Thomas. We were formed back in August of 2010. And prior to receiving our ANA grant late 2020, we basically were providing training for our board members and the community at large through the Minority Health, the Office of Minority Health. Every year they granted us funds so that we can provide the board training. So that was the minimal services that we were providing from the time we established our organization until late of last year, 2020, when we applied for the ANA grant and were administered a 3-year funding cycle. And as a result, the Lemay May project was born, and that's when our project director and our other staff were hired. And so that will be ending a couple of years from now, because we just completed, or will be completing our first fiscal year, or has completed in September, the fiscal cycle. Yes.
And something you pointed out, it's such a beautiful board that you have right there behind you that says MANGO members, and it's so full. So can you share a little bit about who your members are and what the growth has been like the past 11 years?
Well, we have a combination of organizations, and we have 40 that have become members, and we continue to have more register, and we have 30 individuals. Those that don't necessarily have an organization that they're affiliated with, or are thinking of forming their own organization, and that's where the Lemay May project comes in, where we assist those individual members who want to form an organization, or we assist those that have just started and need more assistance, especially in applying for the 501c3, for instance. If they wanted to avail of some of the federal funds, that is one of the minimum requirements. So that's some of the services that we provide. We have invested in some of our new apps in terms of Smartsheet, where it helps us with our reporting, and when we do our individual development plans, our IDPs, to find out where they're at in terms of their organization and what are their needs. And so that's basically what our project director, Ryan Camacho, does, along with Shauna, about our training manager. They actively look at where the organizations are, along with Angelica. She is the one that kind of is our glue for all of those activities, and also our social media. She's the one that maintains our website and the weekly bulletins that we put out, the newsletters.
And for those who might not know what it's like being an NGO on the island of Saipan or throughout the Sinamay or Marianas generally, what is the current status, I guess, or what is it like trying to start up? Let's say I have an idea and I want to pursue it through the NGO route. Is it easy to do in the Sinamay? Or, I mean, that's the whole purpose of Mango, right, is to assist. But what is the current state of, I guess, affairs of being an NGO in the Sinamay?
And I'll yield to Ryan because he's the one that's been actively assisting our organizations with that. Ryan, can you answer that question?
Good morning. It's really a simple process. You know, I think what happens is the information is not laid out or publicized as frequently. So we've created this step-by-step guide to really help the individual or the organization go through those steps. So it's relatively easy, and for those, you know, that it may seem daunting because there's so many steps, but it's really pretty simple to go through. You know, a lot of the challenges may be the initial processing fees or application fees, but that's where Mango also comes in to help to really further them along and build that base.
And what are some of the breakdown in terms of what types of NGOs are under Mango? I know you have so many members, but are you seeing, what are some of the needs that are being filled by these NGOs?
So there's a lot of organizations with different purposes. We see here in the CNMI that there's, you know, services for cultural preservation and development. There's organizations dedicated to health. So whether it be nutrition or activity or substance abuse, along those lines. And you can also see environmental causes. So you have engineering projects that go underway. You have environmental cleanups and other kinds. So there really is a broad spectrum. But at the end of the day, these are services that are maybe lacking in other areas that's not necessarily provided for in the private sector or in government. So it's really filling in the gaps, and that's where the nonprofits serve a vital role in the community, filling in those gaps.
I wanted to open up to those who might not have spoken to maybe talk about why you think this service, this alliance is so critical to have in the CNMI. Especially in the time of COVID-19, we've seen the roles that NGOs can play in our community to provide the needs that you just talked about. So why is it so critical that Mango continues its services?
But from what I've experienced, because I've been with before joining Mango, I was with the public school system, and our students and their families in need were receiving help from NGOs. Like Ryan said, filling in the gaps. So if government agencies affiliated with PSS are not necessarily providing the services that these families need specifically, then NGOs can come into play. So seeing that help that these people need, I think that's one of the main reasons why NGOs should be thriving here especially.
Thank you so much. I wanted to just wrap up our interview with leaving it open for you to share any message you have to the community or add anything I might not have asked about. What's coming up with Mango? What's next?
We finished our first cohort. We have 3, 1 for every fiscal year. And we completed our first. We had about 10 organizations that participated. and completed the 6 modules that Ka'ana Niao helped us with, develop the curriculum, and we availed of it. We also have our resource experts like Susan White, for instance, who's helping us specifically on the strategic planning, because that's one of our modules. And for those who are applying for ANA, for instance, or other major funding source, they need their strategic planning in place. And so those are some of the modules that we have already trained 10 organizations with. Noshana, as our training manager, is coming up with a schedule for the 2nd cohort, and hopefully we'll have 10 organizations again lined up to partake of that. And then on our last year and our 3rd year, we would have another set of cohort. But for those organizations who have not been able to avail of the cohorts for whatever reason, we open up the community training also on each of those 6 modules. So we've already completed 3, and we are scheduling for the remaining 3 before the end of this calendar year.
And Auntie Frances, how can folks get in touch with you if they want to collaborate and brainstorm and or even support Mango? How can folks reach out?
They can reach out to us through our website. We also have a registration form there if they wanted to become a member. They can also call us at 670-233-6200. Or we do have emails that we do share, whether it's fsablon@mangocinema.org. I haven't really memorized it. And the same thing with Brian R. Camacho or A. Narvaez or S. Babauta at mangocinema.org, right?
Which is simple info@mangocnmi.org. That generally goes out to all of us here so that you can get the proper response.
Yes.
Or appropriate response.
All right, hey, Ken, thank you enough again for your time. And again, that website is mangocinema.org. Thank you all for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Thomas.
Uno Mixed. We're mixing it up on the last Thursday of every month with a look at lifestyle, entertainment, food, and so much more on the stations, networks, and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Uno Mixed is presented to you by Docomo Pacific, Better Together, and Pepsi.
KUAM TV has been on the air for 65 years. 65 years of growing, changing, and adapting to the needs of our local community. 65 years of making you smile, laugh, and cheer, and being there for you in times of tears and heartbreak, and learning to heal together. We've kept you on the edge of your seats, been a trusted source for you to turn to, weathered many storms together, and celebrated life's big moments. And now at 65, we celebrate all the firsts we brought you over the years and all the firsts that lie ahead as our world changes. KUAM TV, celebrating 65 years of firsts on Guam.
Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore. Stop on by and visit our showroom today. We offer everyday low prices on all major outdoor power equipment like bush cutter, chainsaw, power washer, generators, and more. Need service, repair, maintenance? Well, check out Guam's best superstore only at Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape, located in Barragata along Army Drive between Submarina and Besta Market. Call 735-7446 for more information. Now shipping to surrounding islands. Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, where you get smart insights into your finances so you can make smart decisions with your money. With a daily personalized feed, you can compare your monthly income to spending. That's better. Discover where your money is actually going. You might be surprised. See what's essential and what isn't. The more you use the app, the smarter it gets. With insights from the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, it all starts with yes.
GU Self Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage. With generations of Filipinos calling Guam home, KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city, featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by KFC.
Do you feel like you're missing out on something? Make life more rewarding with Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points for bill rebates and free load at IT&E, discounts on fuel at Shell, vouchers at Foodies, and United Mileage Plus miles. You can even pay with Pacific Points at IT&E, Shell, and Foodies. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
This holiday season, we're once again bringing together the island's largest array of local vendors for a special innovative way for you to shop, broadcast, and go digital with Team KUAM. Join us on Sunday, November 28th for the annual Christmas Pops Virtual Holiday Market at 12 noon on KUAM TV 8 and the KUAM News Facebook page, plus additional show times through December 11th. We'll also be featuring vendors daily with posts with QR codes and links on our social media pages beginning Monday, November 29th, and hosting an exclusive Christmas Pops website for your one-stop shopping. It's a safe and convenient way for you to shop local this holiday season. To reserve your spot, email promotions@kuam.com today. Virtual space is limited.
Breast cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death in women. The chances that a woman will die of breast cancer is about 1 in 38. Although there is no sure way to prevent breast cancer, there are certain things that you can do, such as eat healthier and exercise. For more information about breast cancer, go to the American Cancer Society's website at cancer.org. Also, on October 22nd, we invite you to think pink by wearing the color pink on that day in solidarity of our breast cancer survivors and warriors.
This pink message is brought to you in partnership with Ordot Dental Clinic, joining the fight against cancer in honor of brave warriors, survivors, and their families. Island Cancer Center and American Cancer Society.
The KUAM Podcast Network is back and on demand, featuring a great variety of podcasts from our island and region, including culture, lifestyle, awareness, crime, politics, commentary, comedy, and entertainment. Available on most streaming platforms. The KUAM Podcast Network. Subscribe and listen now.
I'm loving it, Link Fam. KUAM TV has been great jamming with you. Facebook Live as well. And on the breeze here for Sabrina Salas-Mantanani, Jason Salas, and Joe Sir. This has been another episode. And another one. Thanks, Jay. Anything before we go?
Get tested if you need to, everybody. From now until 12 o'clock at the old Teton Carnival grounds again.
Right. Get your booster. Okay?
Get your booster.
Get your booster. Get your booster. They should do a jingle.
Basically, it's like nitrous oxide, like for your body. Remember that one scene in like Road Warrior?
Yeah.
It was like, we didn't even know what Nas was back then. It was like, dude, you see Road Warrior?
Yeah. There you go. That's Jason's characterization. It's NOS for the COVID.
NOS for the COVID.
Right.
Young people would know. The Fast and the Furious crowd would know what that is.
Yeah, that's right. The Smoking Wheels peeps.
Yeah.
Hey, so KUAM TV, it's 10:01 again on the breeze side. We're KUAM FM, Agatni Guam, Guahusa Chris, Esta, Adios.